Prophet Marshall Occurrence. So we back at it, man. I just want to make this clear where we stand and everything and what we doing. Cause see, I already proved I'm not no clown over here, and how I proved that with my works, with my information. My information where you marrying children. Okay, I don't think that this is a clown over here, buddy. Okay, I'm the only one that talked about America marrying children. It changes everything. Not half, everything. And I don't think that's what you want to accept. This has have changed. Them marrying children changes everything, buddy. Okay, so yeah, including my situation, including whatever you was talking about, it changed that too. You gotta tell slow boy, it changed everything. You know how you talk to slow people, you get a little enthusiastic. Well, it changed everything. Everything has changed. Yeah, everything changed. That's how you talk to a slow boy. Everything changed here. Look, man, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something real good. Let me tell you something real good. You caused all these problems and you ain't got no scapegoat but yourself. You the only scapegoat because everybody know. Everybody know it was you. Everybody know it was secret society and black people. In that order. Black people in secret societies. And then you brought a white man over here playing games. Everybody know what really happened. See, I know the activity that the Christians ain't talking about. I'm one of the only Christians that can go from A to Z and be accurate about what I'm talking about. Because I never, my perspective is not formed on some conspiracy theory and all that lane of talking about the Freemasons and from a conspiracy theory lane. I'm going with what I seen. I'm going with what I see out here. I'm going with what I've seen over the years. That's what I'm going with. I ain't talking about nothing about. That's why I ain't getting off on who they are and what they stand for. I don't care who you are and what you stand for. That's the Jedi mind trick. We don't care who you are. See, that's what happens when you come out here in the jungle. Ain't nobody trying to hear what. All we gonna go by is what happened out here in the jungle. That's all. It's simple. All we gonna go by is what happened out here in the jungle. That's it. And people from the internet is gonna talk about this, talk about that, where they come from. I don't care nothing about where they come from, bro. Think about what I'm saying. Do you care about where they come from? Do you care about where they come from? And what information they got? Do you care about that? That's how you know they ain't in the jungle. Nobody don't care nothing about that outside. You think they want to hear what you doing outside, who you are? Nobody cares. And I don't care in here. Okay? It's the same rules and regulations. You go out there, they're only going by what you're doing out there. And you know what you've been doing out there? You've been using children, haven't you? Yeah, you have. You've been using children. The worst betrayal of humanity is to play on the weaknesses that every human has for children. And you know what I mean when I say weakness? You know what I'm saying? Your compassion, your heart for children. For somebody to play on that and act like you got a weakness and you don't. All you have is a humble heart towards children. And they played on that, right? That's why I stopped putting my head down. No, I don't put my head down no more when you got your children in front of me, because that's a way you try to humble the thugs and the gangsters and the killers. You try to bring a whole bunch of children and change their demeanor. Because you a clown, you can't come into their world, so you try to make them come into your world with the little kids and all of that. Oh, I'm telling the truth. These Freemasons can't come into our world. You can't come into the world. Listen, we know. You know how we know? Because you folded. You thought it was me. I ain't folded. I go through what real grown men go through. Growing pains and growing changes. And I adapt to it the best way I can. So, I mean, eventually you're going to see my humanity, but that don't mean you winning. I guess you slow. once again, well, I'm not losing because I got a little humanity. Okay? I'm doing okay. Gotta talk to a slow boy with enthusiasm. Hey, I'm okay. I'm a grown man, bro. I go through growing pains and growing changes and things like that. That don't mean witchcraft is working. See, that's what a lame gonna think. Oh, the witchcraft working. Oh, why? Because I'm going through growing changes and pains and things like that. That comes into your life at some point. Man, eventually you're gonna see that, and you using witchcraft the whole time, you gonna at all times you're gonna think that's what it is. And the person is going through their own lane without you. Makes sense? We going through our own lanes without them. Ain't got nothing to do with them. And then they'll take credit for how you feel. If you down or you feeling some type of way, they'll take credit for things that just going on that pertains to your life. It's time to wipe these suckers out, bro. Straight like that. You know what I'm saying? See, it wouldn't be a problem if you had stayed in your own lane. What happened was you came over here and merged in my lane. That's what happened. You merged over here where I'm at. And that's all. It's simple. That's why I win. Because ain't nobody going to disagree with me. And if you don't agree with me about what should happen to them, God is going to agree with it, and God is on it. So I don't even need you to agree with it. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. It's not required. Only thing is required is that God agrees with what's going to happen. God is doing this stuff. And God is. He's doing it. He's tired of it, man. God has, in other words, God is intolerant of it at this point. And that's that. That's that. They didn't think God was real. You know what I'm saying? You struck a gas line, bro. You struck a gas line, you struck a gas line. You struck a gas line, and now you done blew up everything. It's a whole war now. It's a whole war. It ain't going away. And as soon as you come my way, listen, bro, I'm already ready. I stay ready. And that's what I'm saying. You should have stayed on the internet. You should have stayed away from real ones. You should have stayed out the field. You know what I'm saying? But you wanted to see how I feel to be in the field. And now you see it's real. You know, it's not a game. And when the pressure is on, bro, listen, we can bring pressure right back to you. A million times worse. You know how it's a million times worse? Look at your community. You ain't gonna have no America before too long. You ain't gonna have no America to live in. And you dead. That's a death in itself. Because what you know is America, every day is being compromised. But I guess you wasn't paying attention to that, was you? That's the wins. The America. Look at America. Look at it for what it is. Look how they moving. Look at their mindset. Look at all the stuff that's happening. We ain't gonna listen. It's easier to do that, and then you don't have no world anyway. No matter if you live or not, what you call America is gone. So you see the win in that. Well, I don't care if you live. I mean, not really. If America's gone, what do you have? What do you have? I mean, you're here, but there's no America. There's no internet. There's just struggle. You're dead already. It won't be ever like it was. You're never going to rebuild America. No. You think your enemy's going to let you rebuild America? No. And I don't care how much Trump moves around. I don't care how much he moves around the world. In Iran and all of that, man. All people gonna do with Trump is wait him out. And then they gonna get on America's head after Trump. That's all we doing. That's all they doing. That's all they doing. I'm active right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a spiritual soldier. I'm active right now. Now, all these other people, they waiting for Trump to get out of office. That's common sense. Why you gonna attack an administration like that? And they'll send people right to your country. They're gonna send people right to your country. Why would you attack and waste your men like that? So I mean, most terrorists is just gonna wait Trump out. That's all they doing. And so, because if you think that it's over. If you think that terrorists let that slide with all they was doing over there in Gaza, you listen, buddy, you got a whole nother thing coming, buddy. They just waiting out Trump. When you're gonna go just attack, you're gonna go attack America and all this stuff. And right now with Trump in office, and you see how he moving, you see the moves he make, right? Why would you attack in another country or attack Americans in another country or try to attack America when Trump is in office just attacking everybody? Nobody's gonna do that. They just waiting Trump out. That's all they doing is waiting him out. Everybody riding low for the next 3 years or so. That's all we doing. That's everybody who's an enemy of America anyway. I mean, that all they doing is just waiting Trump out, basically. So you just anchor yourself and dig in and just focus on something else. For me, on the other hand, I'm getting wins today. I'm getting something done today because I'm a spiritual soldier. I don't have any physical operations against the Americans. I'm the spiritual elite in spiritual warfare, and these suckers gonna understand that the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Secret societies beneath me. Listen, I fight whole countries, buddy. We go to war with whole countries, and now you know. Okay, yeah, that you know now. Okay, we don't play with scrubs. We don't play with F boys. We don't play with sucker boys. Nah, we don't do that. See, you thought I was one because I'm kind of laid back. I'm from North Carolina. But see, what you forgot is how militant-minded people can be from the South. Well, yeah. I guess you underestimated it. It's been a war. It's the end of the war now. It's the end of the war. They talking about it's a war. It's been a war. You're just now mustering up the strength to realize it and accept it for what it is and realize it ain't going to change. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. Okay? It's almost the end of the war now. That's the good news. The good news for all those who've been gang stalked, it's the end of the war now. And that's pretty much it. That's the end. It's the end of the war now. It's no way they can come back from it. The world, the mentality is gone. You can't make Americans go back to pre-COVID, before COVID. This is post-COVID. Everybody admitted that the Americans have changed since COVID-19. It hasn't been the same. And it got worse. Other things happened. It consistently happened. More things happened. Okay, you ain't fooling me. You ain't making me feel like it's hope. We already smell blood, man. It's too late. So you thought I was doing this in the name of being a street dude or something like that. That ain't what this is. I mean, of course, me being black, I'm aware of black culture. I'm aware of music. I'm not an alien, but this is not the streets. This is above the streets. The streets can't see me, and they know that now. And ain't nobody out there in their right mind gonna try to play themselves when it comes from my effort to your effort that you think you can have the same effort that I got. That, in other words, you can't do what I do. No matter if you can shoot a gun, you can shoot at people, but you can't do exactly what I do to other people. And that's what grown men look at. You can't go and do what I do. Anybody can shoot back and forth. Anybody can do that. But can you go out here and do what I do? No. You can't. And that's it. And that's how we figure it out. And until then, guess what? I'm on top. You can't do what I do. And that's that. Ain't nobody out there. That's what puts me above the streets. Ain't no they can't do what we do, man. The streets can't do nothing. The streets is in a maze, in a world, in a trap. Just like Tupac gonna tell you. They gonna tell you the same thing. They in a trap and maze. They don't know when they gonna die. Listen to the rap music. You hear everything. It's how it is. They don't know when they gonna die. They don't know. They can't trust their own family. You know, they can't trust the police. They don't know if they're gonna get locked up. They don't know if they're gonna go to the grave. They don't know if they're gonna go to prison. That's them. That's the streets. And that's the real ones in the streets. They don't know when they gonna die. They don't know when they gonna go to jail. They don't know when the police gonna come get them. They don't know nothing. They gonna tell you that in so many words. Now that's for the white girls, that's the streets, okay? Okay, we all know that. I mean, you know, we know that. Do you know that? I guess the music got you pumped up a little bit, didn't it? Got you pumped up, didn't it? Hey, listen to all them thug songs on your workout in the gym, and it got you pumped up out here, didn't it? That's the real streets, buddy. Now I, on the other hand, am getting something done that the streets can't do, right? And because you jock them, you can't believe it. And you play with me first in this order. In this order. You play with me first. No, hold up. You jock the streets. You played with me first, right? You played with me after that. You seen that the streets respected me and you couldn't beat me, and now you sitting here looking stupid. Now you still think you want to fight me because you think I'm beneath the streets in your mind, right? But listen, the streets already done gave me my respect. Turn around, look. It's above the streets, bro. We above the streets. That's why the streets ain't saying nothing. See, if the streets had a problem, they'd be riding by here shooting. I know how the streets act, man. If the streets had a problem with me, they'll be riding by my place where I live and shooting and everything, shooting up everywhere. The streets ain't got no problem with me, man, cause they gonna look at it as a black issue. You stood your ground, and they lost, and this case closed. That's why I like my situation. It's easy to understand. It ain't hard to understand my situation. They played with me, I won. They butthurt about it. They trying to manipulate about it, and ain't nobody letting them do it. That's it. That's all there is to it. And keep in mind, God is on my side too. That part too. Most importantly. That's the most important information. See, everybody don't have God on their side, bro. Just like the streets. Everybody don't got the streets on their side. Everybody ain't got the streets on their side. Where you can go out there and get something done in the streets. If somebody playing in your face. Somebody playing in your face. You can go out there in the streets and say, yo, this situation, something's done about it. Everybody don't got the streets on their side like that. Not even me. I can't go out there and manipulate the streets against the Freemasons. I would have been done that. But now I got respect. So people feeling some type of way. So, you know, but I just commanding the streets. I don't command the streets. But I'm a commander in God's kingdom. And that's worse. That's way worse. See, you scared of the streets. You scared of the commanders on the street. That's why you thought you could bring your big head over here and play with me. You know what I'm saying? You realize, listen, this is worse than the streets. Now you're starting to realize it. Why you think the street dudes always talk about God and always talk about godly things? Why you think they doing it? Because they know it's above the streets. That just went over their head. It's above the streets. Why you think bona fide killers and street dudes is talking about God and spirituality? Oh, you thought it was just a courtesy like white people. You thought it was just a courtesy gesture. You thought it was a courtesy gesture, didn't you? When you know street dudes make courtesy gestures. Well, they just, as a courtesy, I'ma just gesture about this. I'ma just gesture as a courtesy about this and that. When have you ever known a street guy to ever do courtesy gestures? Except for probably children. When you see children and you smile or you might wave, and I mean your heart is in a different place, but you know it's children walking. You do a courtesy gesture. I mean, it's not fake, but you know, because the kids are there, it's a courtesy gesture. You know, you might not even be in the mood to do it. Which it's not making it fake, but you're not in the mood to do it, but you do a little courtesy gesture, right? Right. Other than that, when have you ever known a fully grown street dude, a man, not children in the streets, grown men in the streets? When you ever known a grown man in the streets? Oh, it's a difference. You got boys in the streets. See, that's what the secret society's like, ain't it? They like boys in the streets, like we was when we was kids in the streets. Then you got grown men out here in the streets. See, all you could ever be is a boy in the streets to me, because of the games you play, how you carry yourself. Now, a man in the streets, when have you ever known him to have a courtesy gesture besides children? Where he, as a courtesy, I'ma just gesture as a courtesy to whoever. When have you ever known that to happen among grown men in the streets? When? So then you didn't pay attention when people was talking about God. Even though they wasn't living it, they understood. And you don't know how they understood, because we don't know their life, right? So I don't know if that person was a Christian when they was younger. All we know is the streets understand the concept of God, right? That I don't know how it happened. And everybody, because I don't know everybody, right? I can't tell you why that person is doing that. But I know one thing for sure, is too many people to be doing it for it to be a religious gesture. I know the streets ain't gonna do no religious gestures. I know that, which means it's based on real spirituality, and that we know now, don't we? Okay, so yeah. So see, for a lame boy, that's the word. The streets mean everything to you. But to a street boy, God is above everybody. See what I'm saying? See the difference? And see, you play yourself, and then when you look at the certified gangster and you see that he talking about God, now you look stupid. Because you on the outside of reality, how we all move. But you thought you was on our side. You thought you was out here in the streets. Now you can't even get the streets to salute what you do. Nope. See, that's how we know you're a lame. That's how we know you're a sucker. Because you wind up on the outside. See, listen, man. When you get older in the streets, it's all about principles. That's all it's about. Now, when you're young, it's all about violence. Crime, violence, and selling drugs. You get older, and everybody done that. Now you playing chess with rules and regulations. And that's how you realize who the best. You go by rules and regulations. That's why if you're really a street person and somebody criticize you, you can't really take it personal, because that's all we do out here is talk about rules and regulations. We talk about principles, rules, and regulations, and that's it. And there's nothing else. Everybody can say they shoot somebody or kill somebody. That's common. That's common. Now the next level is who has the best street principles besides the money. Besides anybody can get money. White boys can get money. Right? We know that. White boys can get money, right? Okay, so then we ain't gonna say that's what certifies you to be a street person, because you getting money. I mean, you could be a sucker with you and you just got on some type of way. You see it all the time. People work at retail stores and got tattoos all on their face, and they ain't never done a felony a day in their life. But then they work at Walmart and they got tattoos all on their arms. Walmart bought them tattoos. The streets didn't buy it. Drug money didn't buy it. They got them tattoos from Walmart. But they walk around looking like a goon. You know what I'm saying? We gotta clear all of that out, bro. See, you might look at me because I'm part Asian, Filipino, South American, Latino, and I'm black. Okay? I'm Asian, Latino, and African. You don't know how to see me if you can't see straight. I'm African, Latino. I can prove that with my DNA. Latino, Asian. I'm Asian, right? And African. 4 different types of African. I can prove that with my DNA. Not folklore from my family. No, I can pull up my DNA and send it to you. I can send all the ethnicities of my DNA. I can email it to you. I can screenshot it to you. That's what I'm saying. So it ain't. So for me, it ain't folklore that come from my family. Talking about Indian in the family, then you find out you ain't got no Indian in your family. You can't go by no high cheekbones. You know how many different ethnicities got high cheekbones? I can show you Mexicans with high cheekbones. I can show you Latinos with high cheekbones. Native Americans ain't the only ones with high cheekbones. Black people talking about we got black Indian in our family because of high cheekbones. Oh, it's that simple with them. Look at them high cheekbones. Yeah, we got Native American, them high cheekbones. Then you find out they ain't got no drop of Native American in their family. Like I said, I do not also compete with men and women that have not went and found out who they are as far as being African. If you don't know who you are and you're just African American, you are beneath my level. And the reason why, you done had plenty of money to go do your DNA, and if it was so important to you to be black, you would have been undone it by now. You would have been undone it. You still sitting around spending money on DoorDash Easy. You spent $100 easy on DoorDash Easy. You just did it for Valentine's Day. You spent what $250 on DoorDash, tricking off on DoorDash. But you the first one in line talking about Black Power, talking about I'm a Black Panther, but you don't even know what tribe of African you even come from. Me and you two different animals, bruh. Me and you two different animals. You can't see me, bro. Until you go and find out what type of African you are, me and you are two. This is the chess moves I'm talking about. Much as you harping on being black, you should be the first in line to show us what type of African you are, and you can't do it. This is what street people gonna look at. All that talking about being black, all that yapping, but you don't even know what street. This dude know what tribe he come from. You don't even know what tribe you come from. Yeah, we gonna keep talking about it, cause we gonna weed out all these people that's lames, lame to the game. Like my cousin would say, lame to the game. You lame to the game, bruh. You lame to the game. Well, then why you don't know what tribe of African you come from? So you just African American. So then if you talk to somebody from Africa, what you gonna tell them? Well, I'm just African American. Yeah, I know you're African American. But what tribe of African you come from? You can't even talk to other Africans intelligently and tell them what tribe of African you come from. I can. You can't. So who you gonna believe in? People that don't even know what tribe they come from. Or somebody who can tell you exactly what tribe and point to what tribe they come from and talk about it intelligently. Oh, it matters. It matters among the best. Not scrubs. Not lames, no, but for the best, it matters. If especially if you the one out here harping on you black all the time, then you should be the first in line to show us what type of black African you are. Why you can't do it? See, that's how I shut you down if you got in my face. First of all, okay, what tribe of African you come from? Well, I'm just African. I'm just African American. I'm just nah, bro. Listen, they ain't gonna make the grade. Like Billie Holiday say, that don't make the grade. Empty pockets don't make the grade. Empty knowingness and not knowing who you are don't make the grade. The strong ones strive while the weak ones fade. That's what basically Billie Holiday said. The strong strive while the weak ones fade. Oh, you thought I was fading? I'm just taking my time with my money, buddy. I just sent $4 million. You understand? I just sent $4 million out there. And you think I'm losing? I just sent $4 million. Oh, how can it be? Because when USD is sent to another country, depending on the value exchange, something like a sucker like you wouldn't know. When the money goes to another country, it has a different value, you dummy. You big dummy. Say it like Red Fox, you big dummy. When you send money to another country, the USD has a different value in each country, dummy. It's one of the highest currencies in the world. You wouldn't know it. And if you wasn't if you're not international, if you're international, that's the first thing you're gonna realize how valuable the USD is all around the world. Money, currency. I take this money over there, it's worth $4 million. It's a no-brainer, bro. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I done sent $4 million out there. See, a soldier gonna figure it out. And I deserve respect on that. Because everybody see the method is working, right? We already established the method is working. Okay, he then went to the next level and sent, with the same method, a certain amount of USD and made it $4 million in another country. Ain't no way in the world you can manipulate that. Ain't no way in the world you can't believe that. You a bum. I talk money. You don't. Okay? Like Billie Holiday say, empty pockets don't make the grade. Empty pockets don't make the grade in no situation. You shouldn't be out here starting wars and you broke. Even in God's economy, buddy, even in God's world, the offering money is gonna make something happen. I done sent $4 million to another country. Ain't no way you can fade me, bro. You can't fade me. I'm above the streets. See, you're a lame boy with a little bit of voodoo or hoodoo or whatever that little weak witchcraft you got. And I don't care nothing about it. Because you know what? Empty pockets don't make the grade. Like Billie Holiday say. Ain't nothing fraudulent about me, buddy. See, the difference between me and you, I'm way beyond being fraudulent. Ain't nobody thinking I'm fraudulent. Anybody thinking I'm fraudulent or fake? At this point, I don't have that to prove and I don't have that to worry about. So no matter how, like I like to put it, I can wallow down on the ground and roll around on the ground. I'm still real, no matter what I do. I'm real by results. You wouldn't understand as an incompetent lame boy. I'm real by results. So it don't matter what I do. You're real by demeanor and behavior. I got stuff on paper to show you I'm real. That ain't gonna leave. Permanent stuff. I got permanent things to show I'm real. You were like a little teenager still struggling with being real, buddy. That's what teenagers do in the streets. You still struggling with being real. I got permanent things I can show you to show you ain't nobody gonna doubt me being real, buddy. Yeah, go try them lames like that. Them white boys, them white girls, they struggling right now as I speak with being real. I'm not struggling with that. I'm gonna show real ones, results, numbers, and information. Ain't nobody gonna doubt me being real. I don't struggle with that. I don't care about it. And that's how you know I'm real too. I don't care about that. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know, bro. So, like, what can you do? Nothing. You can't do nothing here, buddy. You can't do a thing here. All you can do is sit back and listen like a chump. I'm talking about $4 million and he talking. That's what's wrong with you. You talking too much. You think you know too much. You think you can pull up on me too much and you can't. How you gonna pull up on me when I'm making $4 million transactions? And what you doing? What you doing right now? I guarantee you ain't got no more than 5K right now on your body. You ain't got no more than 5K on you. I guarantee you don't even got that. I'm just going maybe a little bit far with you might have. You know what I'm saying? You only got 5K on you. I done put $8,000 over here. $8,000 going on $9,000. I deal with money, buddy. You didn't know that, did you? Okay, so then what they tell you? What them secret societies tell you? What they tell you I've been doing? Huh? Come on, bro. Listen, man. Let me tell you something, man. I can talk to the streets. That's why I crush lame dudes like you. You thought me and you was neck to neck as far as being on certain levels. How? How, man? You ain't got no results. You a bum. You a jailbird. At best, oh, you might have went to jail. That's it. So what? We got numbers. We talking about numbers. We talking about numbers. You got that? You ain't got it, do you? Listen, man, listen. I done put $4 million out there. It just left. When you send international money from New York, it take 2 or 3 days to leave the country. I done tracked it. I went into AI and found out all the information. It take 2 or 3 days to leave the country. It goes through an international mail hub. It gets processed. It takes a day to leave Brooklyn. Then it takes another 2 days, 48 hours through the international mail hub to get processed. Then it goes out. I just sent out $4 million is now out the country. This is what you expect of legends, man. I don't talk. Listen, bro. I don't listen, bro. Yeah, it's not being arrogant, man. It's like, man. Okay, how long I'm gonna look eye to eye with people? It go from level to level, just like a little lame boy. You ain't gonna, as a street dude, you ain't gonna look eye to eye with no lame boy, right? So then the next level is these scrambling dudes that went to jail, caught felonies, this and that. How long I'm gonna see eye to eye with them? When I'm doing $4 million transactions, I did another $1 million transaction. That's $5 million from here, from this room right here. $5 million. Because when the USD goes to another country, the value change. They can't go and use it. They can't go use $1 and it works out. They can't do it. They can't say, oh, okay, here's $5 from America. They're gonna look at it. No, you have to get this exchange. You have to go exchange it. This is a lot of money, but you have to go get an exchange to at the bank or something or someplace. They'll tell you. You can't just go and use USD anywhere in the world. It don't work like that. You have to get an exchange, and usually it's like $3,000 to $1. Now we talking about real hustlers and money people, stuff black people should have been talking about. $1 is $3,000 in another country. $1. $3,000. People who get excited about money is people that's dealing with money. Broke dudes and people that ain't never done that, they don't get excited about it. Because they ain't doing nothing. $1 is $3,000 in another country. You do the math. I'm getting all my goods from there. I ain't buying nothing in America. No brainer. Yo, hold, peep game. You go online, right? You already know where I'm going with this. You got $5. $5 literally. $1 is $3,000 in their country. I'm gonna go shop online and get it mailed here from their country. Man, look, I just put you up on game, bro. You ain't even peep that. Look, I'm gonna go to a website that has supplies. America ain't the only one with supplies. I could take $5,000, go to another country and find supplies of this, that, and the third, and get it shipped from another country. You don't think they're gonna ship it to me? You don't think they sell goods to America? Of course. So other countries don't sell goods to America online. You know how America got you? They want you to buy their products. A rebel gonna say, I'm gonna go buy from South America. USD is more down there. I can get all this stuff shipped up here, right to my address, just like anybody else. And I'm gonna have all this stuff for $5. It's pitiful for dudes. It's pitiful for America when you realize you put your USD anywhere else, buy all your stuff offline. Listen, you rather have a whole bunch of stuff or some designer stuff. That's how America gonna get you, the designer. I don't care about no designer stuff. I get this, I get shoes, I get clothes, I get all kind of shirts, everything. I spent $20 and I got racks of clothes coming in. Cause of $1 is $3,000 down there. You telling me one yes or no question? You can't shop online in another country. You can, can't you? Okay, so then when you do the value exchange, it's going to be $1 to $3,000. You know that, right? Okay, so even when you pay shipping and handling, which would be what, like $2 or $3, but let's just say you had $20. Shipping and handling, what, $3 or so? You're talking about $17. And $1 is $3,000. You do the math on that, bro. You do the math. You can get anything shipped here. Darn near get a car shipped here. Why not? I buy me a car from across seas. USD is gold somewhere else. Ship the car here. I paid $10 for it. How you pay $10 for a car? Cause the USD value exchange in another country is $1 to $3,000. Man, you telling me y'all, listen, you telling me people ain't sleeping on that? They are. That's a whole market in itself, man. You tell me you can't flip and make money out of that? You got USD, and you can't make USD flip somewhere else and make money for you. The only reason you've been Jedi mind tricked is because the Americans want you to keep your money here. They ain't gonna tell you that, like a slave. They ain't gonna tell you, why they ain't tell us now that USD is gold somewhere else? I had to figure it out myself. Because they want you to stimulate their economy. You take your USD outside the economy, you can get anything you want outside the country. And then you can make so much money doing whatever you're doing, then you can come back and get the designer stuff here. Bro, I wouldn't buy nothing. Like, that's even like shovels. If I had a construction company, I'm gonna buy all the stuff from South America. It's the same stuff. It might be, okay, maybe it might not be the same exact quality, but I mean, at the same time, I might double up on it just because I got enough money. If that one of them break, I got another one. I'm gonna buy all my stuff in different countries. Why the Americans never taught you to go flip your money in different countries? Even all these financial moguls like Susie Orman. Susie Orman ain't never tell you to take your money out of America. Take your money out of America. The USD is worth more in other countries. The reason why they don't tell you this, I'm not saying her, but for most people, the reason why they don't tell you this is because they don't want you to take your money outside of America. They want you to spend money in their country to stimulate the economy. You can take your money to South America. You can take your money here, there, this, that, and the third. And you're going to flip it. It's going to be, and then if you get into the business game, think about it. You put the money into the business game, and somehow you flipping that money. Keyword, somehow you're flipping that money. Somehow you're flipping the money, right? You do the math. $1 to $3,000. That's what I was tripping off of. God had to show me this on a 10-day fast. The Lord showed me this on a 10-day fast. I was on a 10-day fast. And that's when God showed me, look what your money been doing. You sending money to Jamaica. I sent $48 to Jamaica. I didn't even know. This is to Kingston, Jamaica. I sent $48, right? You know how much money that was? Guess how much money that was, bro? I sent $48. Guess how much it was? $7,000. I sent $48. When the Jamaicans exchange it, it's $7,000. $7,000 and a half. Almost $8,000. Exactly, it's $7,621, which means they probably might have to pay maybe $200 for the exchange, for the fees, the transaction fees, which means they still get $7,000. Close to $7,000 and a half. That was the summertime. I sent $7,000 down to Jamaica like it was nothing. Off of $48. You telling me it ain't no way you can flip? See, they just didn't want to do business with other countries. See, that's the truth. That's the truth. These white people didn't want to do business with other countries. You, as a black man, you could have been making money and helping other countries and doing stuff with other money with other countries. You see what I'm talking about? You got to come out of thinking about this country. They want to stimulate the business. That's their business rules is we're going to stimulate American businesses and economy. That ain't your rules. That ain't got to be your rules. You just trying to get bread, right? That part. You ain't think about stimulating no economy, no American economy. You trying to get bread for yourself. That part, bro. Think about what I'm saying. As a hustler, you gonna say, well, I'm gonna just do it over here. And it's gonna go way slower than, I can make it go way faster by stimulating their economy over there. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? See, the white man, he, as a businessman, his dual objective was, I'm gonna get money and stimulate the American economy. That's what he wanted to do. You a black man. You worried about stimulating the American economy or just getting money? No, hold up. The white man wants to get money and stimulate the American economy. This is why he gonna stay over here. You are black. You worried about stimulating the American economy or just getting money by yourself? You could go take your money across seas, man. You could have been done something over there. It don't matter what it is. Now, I'm not trying to be funny. But anything, you could invest in anything over there with the USD, and you could have had way more money by now. Man, way more. Do you see how they made us slaves? You could have been to USD somewhere else, and for however you do it, you could have been starting businesses and everything over there. Cause think about it. You could if let's just say you wanted to do business with somewhere in South America. Let's just say $1,000. A dollar is $3,000. You could start a business down there with nothing, with less than $100. You already starting a business. You start a business in another country. The whole gimmick is, the whole niche is USD down there. That is simple. USD down there. I'm funding everything. I'm doing everything. The money coming back is coming back. I'm taking that, putting it back down there. Whatever they seeing, it's gonna flip when it come up here. Does that make sense? Whatever they seeing, when it gets up here, right? Whatever it is, I can make it more when I send it back to them. So I'm never really losing any profit when I base it on my economy. When I base it up here, I'm not losing anything. And even if it looks like I'm starting to lose, I can just take a couple $1,000s and get right back on top. I can take $500,000 and get right back on top. I can take out a loan and get right back on top if I lose in my business down there. You can't recover up here. I can recover with $500,000. Not even $1 million. They brainwashed you to put money up here. You should be mad. You could have been took your USD somewhere else and made money. You already like other people because you black, right? Okay, so boom, you could have been down there with the Latinos, beautiful women everywhere. You making money. Listen, why you ain't do it? Cause they brainwashed you from the very beginning as a businessman to put money in America and to move money in America to stimulate the American economy. You study their moves. Now you get a black man that's free. You study my moves. I put my money outside of this country. It's gonna be worth more. It's gonna be gold in another country. You do the math. I can't start a business in another country. Of course you can. Okay then. So then what you think I'm gonna be using? I'm gonna be using USD and building everything down there with nothing, which you would consider nothing. $500,000. I done did everything down there. $500,000, I done everything I needed to do that consists of a business, a up and going business, and I can bounce back in any times with just another $500,000. I can bounce right back. How you gonna lose? You can resuscitate yourself anytime, at any time. The slightest thing happens down there. You send a couple, $10K and it's back fixed. $1 is $3,000. You send $10K, you're not back straight. Come on, bro. That's millions of dollars down there. That's millions. I sent the $1 million to South America already. Once I realized this, God knew how my mind was. Once I realized it was $1 million. I could send $1 million down there. I sent the million. I already done it. It's too late. I done it. I done sent 4 million to the Middle East. I'm not playing no games, bro. All a black man got to do is sit down and submit to God, bro. And listen, the white man got his own objective. You're going to have your own objective. See, the black man should have had his objective to come outside this country. I ain't stimulating the American economy. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go get mine, and I'm going to work with these other countries because I'm black. See, you didn't do that. You worked with America. You could have worked in other countries with the USD. You didn't have to build the country, the business up here tangibly. You could have even took your product down there to another country. If let's just say you do soul food, you could have put soul food down to South America. You could have had all the product, pay for all the shipping and handling, all the product off of thousands of dollars. That's nothing. You could have had an up and going business down there. You're not down there, but you got an up and going business down there. You ship everything down there. You cook, you ship, you cook, you ship. Now you got an international, you got another business, and it's done took off because you ain't got no competition. Ain't no mom and pops gonna be down there in no South America. You gonna kill it. They gonna love it, and you gonna kill it. And you gonna be shipping money down there for nothing. Thousands of dollars, you ship it. $1,000, look, that's millions. You tell me you can't ship all your food down there for $1 million. Why can't you? Why can't you? Overnight? Get shipped down there overnight, buddy. Listen, man, that's what I'm talking about, bro. See, listen, you should listen. If you know where I'm getting at, if you know where I'm getting at, you should be mad. Because you got bamboozled to keep your money in America and keep your businesses in America. You could have took your businesses other places, and it's $1 to $3,000. You do the math. Anything you want to do is going to be that much. So to start a business down there, how much would it be? $1, $3,000. You do the math on that, buddy. You could have started a business down there. Everything. USD going to get it right back on top just like that. If you make any mistakes, which is easy to do, any mistakes, anything came up, anything, I'm sending thousands. I'm off $1 to $3,000. I'm sending that down there to to South America. I would have never kept my money down up here. I would never keep my money up here. And it could be way much more down there. You telling me I can't figure out how to make that work? I can do something with that. Yeah. If I know $1 is $3,000 down there, you telling me I can't figure out how to get money? I'm pretty sure I could. But people just didn't do it because the Americans were so busy with manipulating their own businessmen to keep their money up here. Now you see the real businessmen all over international. You know why? I'm telling you what reason why they're making millions like that. Because the USD is involved. All these people that got billions and billions of dollars, what they ain't telling you, the secret sauce is maneuvering the USD in these situations. So you lucky if you was born here, not because of the freedom as a black man, because of the USD, how you can make it work around the world as a hustler. As a hustler, you can make that work all around the world. Why you ain't do it? Because you was taught to make businesses, build businesses here. You could have built businesses in Africa for peanuts. You should be pissed off. Why you couldn't? You could. I don't know why no rappers didn't talk about this. When I figured this out, when the Lord showed me this, I was like, oh man. I started looking all over the world. USD here, USD there, it's there. It's gold. Oh, that's how they stay on top. That's how they stayed on top this whole time. They were just killing other countries. You know what I'm saying? I just spend this money, man, that's like $1 to $3,000. You do the math. You do the math. How much money I'm spending? Nothing. I'm spending nothing. This should have been done. You should have been took your money to Africa. You could have built everything over there. With $1 million, you could have built everything. Once you went over there, you take your money. The supplies and everything is over there, right? You go over there with $1 million. You telling me you ain't gonna build nothing? We could, and then here's the punchline. We could have been built up America as Black America. That's it right there. That's 7 out. You could have been built up Africa with the USD. All you had to do is take $1 million. That's how much is that over there? Millions and millions of dollars. It might be $1 billion. $1 million is like $1 billion. No, listen, you don't believe me, do you? Go look at the currency. USD to Kenya, USD to Nigeria, USD to all these other countries. And then you go and take your USD over there, which they will be gladly accepting of it. You take it over there and you exchange it. You got millions of dollars. You take those millions of dollars in their currency and use it for the resources to build the buildings and build the businesses. And how I know nobody thought about it? Because we would have been undone it. Some people know about it. You know the value exchange, but you didn't think of it. You didn't think of it like a black man would. Oh, I'm gonna take this money over there. I'm gonna take this money over there, and I'm gonna exchange it, and I'm going to use their currency to build buildings, to build communities, and we could have been built up in Africa. What we messed up was we focused on American businesses. Think about it. Now you see what I'm saying? The white man did that to your head, where he wanted you to put all your money here. You telling me as a black man this don't make sense to you? If it's $1 is $3,000, you telling me you as a black man can't make no money out there in another country? You just got to make it here in America. So you can't take the USD when the value exchange is $1 to $3,000. You telling me you can't do nothing with that kind of math? Man, can you see? You see why these rich rappers have been tripping? Oh man, listen, bro, listen. You could have built a whole community in Africa. You could have used $200 million and built, that would have been worth trillions of dollars almost. You could have took that and built a whole community over there. And if you are a Latino American and you got money, you should be building up South America, buddy. No, oh yes, you should. Yes, you should. It's the same principle. Go back to where your bloodlines come from and build it up. With the USD, we all should have been done this. If you're not black, if you're not white, you should have took the USD to where your bloodlines come from. Whether it's from the islands, whatever. I just told you in Jamaica, I said $48 down there, it was $7,000. You tell me I can't do nothing with that? I can do something with that too. $48 is $7,000. I can't get nothing together with that. I'm pretty sure I can. We just didn't have men that took business, black men that wasn't, listen, we ain't been in business way too long, right? That's number one. Number two, once we got in business, then we took the white man's perspective on what to do and how to move. He gonna put it right back in. He's taught by his forefathers to put the money right back in his country. That's common sense. You are not white. You don't put the money back in here. You go build up something else and build businesses in other countries where your bloodlines come from and get money from it. The only reason you've been holding on is because your masters were white Americans. They taught you to put the money here. Of course they're going to do that. You black. Now you got me, a black master, telling you should have put your money, USD, which is gold in other countries, you should have put that and built businesses in other countries. In Africa, South America. A white man ain't going to do it. Now you see what I'm talking about. He don't care about doing that. Get it? Do you get it? He doesn't care. He's racist halfway. You think he care about building a building in South America? You think he care about building buildings and houses in Africa? No, he don't care that. He don't care that much. You see how pitiful it is. This is why people be looking at us. That's why they be looking at the Americans. They know the value exchange. They know. That's why they be looking at us. They know that $1 is like gold. They see us coming. They be glad. They be praising everything because they know. Why do you think they do that? Because their parents and family done taught them $1 is worth all of this. One of those USD dollars. We get one of those dollars, that's like 3,000. All we need is an American to give us like one of their currency, $1 of their currency. That's why they like that. They can go exchange it at the bank and have thousands of dollars. Even if you slip down there as a tourist, and you slip down there, right? That's why they be probably all in the hotels. Think about it. You slip with $1, that's like $3,000 down there. All they need is one note, buddy, and all they need is for you to get drunk and slip. And you know somebody whole wallet done slipped. Got like what? Got like what? Like 10K. I got 10K in a wallet. You know what I mean? Oh, he done hit jackpot. Oh man, I'm going straight to the bank, laughing to the bank. He done caught the bus. Hey, he done caught the bus, huh? he gonna go right to the bus stop. Go right outside, go to the bus stop. Hey. He gonna go get on the bus. He gonna go down to the bank. Let me off here, man. Have a good day. Have a good day. When I see you again, I'll give you some money for a meal. Really? How generous of you. Oh, yeah. I came into some money. He gonna go straight to the bank, man. Listen, he gonna get thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, bruh. Millions. He can get millions. Can you see? He can get millions. I just said millions to South America. I said the million to South America. How can you not tell people that? I don't care what people say. I realize, I can't hold that back. See, the white man ain't gonna teach you that because he want to capitalize off of it where he gets something from them people, but they get nothing. That's how he worked it. That's how he made the whole USD work, where I'm gonna get what I need from these people for nothing. You gonna work it out where we both benefit. I'm gonna build businesses in your country, and we're both gonna benefit, right? And I'm gonna make sure you benefit. I'm gonna look out for you with this USD. You know I got connection to this USD, right? So I'm gonna make it work for me and you. See what I'm saying? See, that's what they can't resist. They ain't forget you. They think about that USD. Oh yeah, I make this USD work for you. Yeah, I make this USD work for you. Yeah, I'm gonna throw you some USD. I'm gonna throw you some USD. Look, do this down there, do that. I'll throw you some USD down there, some gold. It used to be backed by gold, but it's still gold. It's still gold in other countries. But the currency, USD currency, used to be backed by gold. They took it away. It's just a legal tender now. That's what it says on it. It's a legal tender. You take that to another country and build other businesses. The white man, you see how racist he really was? Now you get it. Okay, he had all that USD. Why he ain't build other countries? Only thing he built was other restaurants, like McDonald's and stuff, so he can get more money. I mean, you could say that was kind of like helping them. You could say that, but not really. Not really. You know what I'm saying? They could have did all kind of stuff. Basically how you need to look at it is America could have rebuilt the whole world with the USD. Why they couldn't? If I could take $1 million and go to a poor place in South America, I could take that $1 million and exchange it in South America as a businessman and take take that money, the currency, the local currency, and rebuild the whole infrastructure of that community with $1 million. That's all it takes. You see how they didn't really care. So then going out here and doing this other stuff like they do care is a drop in the bucket when you know that the USD is $1 to $3,000. I can take that and go to another country and exchange it and build up a whole infrastructure with just $1 million. That's going to be like 50 million, 60, 70 million, maybe even $1 billion. $1 million is that much in another country. Do you see the blueprint, the real one, right? We could have built up the whole world. We didn't care. All we cared about is getting the lion's share, getting the money to come back to us, and that's all we cared about. We didn't care about nothing else. Now the black man comes in and says, we could have built up the whole world with the USD. But we didn't make it work for everybody. We made it work for us. We brought it back to us. And that was the racist people. Black man comes up and say, hold up, well, I could do more for these people over here. While I'm still getting mine, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, see, we as black people gonna think about helping other people. Oh, I could build up this country right here. How much y'all need? How much y'all need? Man, I got that now. Man, I go, man, what you need? $40,000. Man, I got that. Boom, here you go. Don't even worry about it, bro. Just don't even worry about it. Just go do what you do, man. You know what I'm saying? Just go do what you do. You just go give somebody $1 million in another country. You see how pitiful it is. We could have just gave somebody $1 million, and they could have changed their whole community with $1 million from USD. USD could have changed a whole country with $1 million. 1 million. Now think about if you're really trying to help your homeland, whatever that is. You got, let's say you got hundreds of millions of dollars. Man, you could take $50 million and build a whole community. 50 million, cause all you gotta do is exchange it, right? When you exchange it at the bank, you got buku money in their currency. You take that buku money and buy resources to materials to build businesses and infrastructure. You start building. They never wanted to do that. They never wanted to do it unless they got the lion's share, right? That's the only reason. If they didn't get the lion's share, America wasn't, and then they didn't have any, they wasn't interested. Now, only if it benefits them. If it doesn't, if it benefits the community and it makes it better, they never was interested in that. They could. How we know is because the USD is $1 to $3,000. You telling me I can't build up something in other countries? Of course. So now you see why everybody is the way they is with America, because you could go into another country and literally build it all the way up with peanuts in this country. That's why they slept on me. I took that money and I made it $1 million down there in South America. That's why I be tripping off these lames around here. Once I realized, once God opened my eyes up, right? Once God opened my eyes up, I was like, oh, it's a no-brainer. I'm sending like $1 million here, 4 million over there. I'm sending money to Egypt. I done that. See, that's how I got free. Now my spirituality is on a whole nother level. I'm free from these people. I sent money to Egypt. Oh, they ain't tell you that? They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know I sent money to Egypt. Because as soon as a black African man here, oh, he sent money to Egypt? Oh, we don't want nothing to do with that. Nah, we ain't playing with this person. He sent money to Egypt. Yeah, he sent money to Egypt. Nah, we want out. We don't want nothing to do with that. That's what you're going to say. Yeah, I sent money to Egypt. I done sent money to Egypt over a year ago. I started that a year ago. Just a year later. And now I'm on a whole other wave. I'm sending like millions across the world now. You telling me that ain't gonna work out for me? Of course it is. But I'm in spiritual warfare. It started with spiritual warfare, but you see how things work out. It's other causes. God has other causes. But there ain't no way in the world you're gonna tell me the USD being gold in other countries, literally, that you can't make no money off of them type of maths, those type of equations. You can't. Ain't no way in the world you can tell me you can't. In fact, you could have been started a business with them numbers. You could have been a nobody. You ain't even got to be a businessman. All you got to do is find connections and people that will get that USD because they want it. They want it. That's why they try to scam people out of not. I ain't saying no particular people, but everybody hungry for that USD. That's why they try to scam you on the internet, because they know you got USD. Put it together. If you got a whole bunch of hungry people and they know you got USD and you on the social media, what you think they gonna do? They gonna try to get you to, for however they can, to get you to get that throw that USD out there. They gonna get thousands and hundreds of dollars, or hundreds of thousands of dollars off that, millions even. So if you can find somebody, if people in different countries can find you a willing participant to send USD down there, you think they ain't gonna be with it? Of course. The business is you are sending USD. That's the business. Get it? You get it? Okay. Man, you'll find all kind of professional people. They won't look at it like who you are, and if you're a professional, all they know is you sending USD. That's all they gonna care about. That's the business in itself. You actually are doing that. They don't care about you being professional. They will not care, I guarantee you. You talk to somebody from down there. Well, I want to send USD down there, and y'all build this. Well, how much you want to send? I'm gonna send like $5,000. Oh, really? USD? That's the business. That's the transaction. Okay. They gonna take you seriously. They gonna get everything on contracts, everything. Boom. You could be a dude working at Walmart. You could be a dude working at Walmart. All they gonna do, they gonna print up the contracts, everything. You ain't even worried about that. Because it really ain't a loss for you. It's almost a gamble. It's almost a win-win gamble. You know, but you do got people that'll run off on you. They'll take that money, pocket that money, and run off on you. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know, it's a good opportunity to help everybody, you still have some people that will still run off with the money. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you do got to take an obvious, decent precaution. But if you just hook up with the right people in another country that's legit on a website, and you tell them what you're going to do up here with your money, you telling me they ain't going to give you a chance. Especially if you just send a little bit just to show them what time, that you real about this. You just send a little bit, man. Just send a little bit of money. They're going to be, even if you send $200, that's like thousands down there. They're going to be like, oh, okay. See what I'm saying? See, white people never cared about those things. They never cared about reaching out to these different countries with the USD, except for to get what they want. That's it. We can start different businesses and everything, and everybody get money. You know what I'm saying? Build up infrastructure, everything. They don't care about that, man. That's what they could have been done it. America, once I realized this USD was this valuable in other countries, they could have took USD all around the world and built up the infrastructure of other countries. The infrastructure is the buildings and everything. That's what the infrastructure is. They could have built up, I guess you could say it's the collective buildings all together, all the buildings together. So you can understand that as a New Yorker. They could, all the buildings, right, is the infrastructure. Okay, they could have rebuilt all the infrastructure of different countries. They could have been done that. That's the first thing a black man gonna realize. When you really when you're set free from America, the first thing you're gonna realize, they could have built up the infrastructure of all Africa, everything, for nothing, for no kind of money. All they had to do was take their USD and then get and exchange it in other countries, and then get the materials to build up stuff for cheap. You know what I mean? And then and pay everybody on the same level. You know, they're gonna a matter of fact, because I got USD, they could have paid people more handsomely to build up the infrastructure of their own countries. They didn't have the mindset to do it. That's what it was. That's just that a black man gonna come in as soon as he realized the value system, and he gets an epiphany of it. Oh wow, look how much I can do. I could do all kind of stuff. See, they never had this. How you know they was racist? Why? It's too easy to understand. It's $1 to $3,000. It's too easy to understand this, bro. Too easy. Too easy to understand. Why they ain't do it? Because they wasn't interested in doing it, because they was racist. Most of them was racist. Partying, and they only cared about their own families. They ain't cared about building nothing down there in the other country and all that stuff like that. They done some things, yeah, but it always benefits them. They ain't done, it's a drop in the bucket to what they could have done. They could have just went, while they're playing world police, how they could have got respect for playing that position is if they built up the infrastructure of the same countries that they trying to police. If they built up the infrastructure of the same countries they trying to police, they could have got respect for trying to being world police and being world police over here and there. If they look around and see their infrastructure was built up because of these same people, but they don't do that. They come and take resources from countries, and they already got money. That's why people hate them. They already got other people in other countries understand this very clearly, because they just dealing with Americans. They know, they get taught that currency is very valuable. And we get one of them dollars from the Americans, you know what I'm saying? We get $20 from them, it's millions here. You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, bro. I just sent $4 million out there to the Middle East based on what I just told you. Now you see how I'm doing it. I sent $1 million to South America. I sent $4 million to the Middle East. That's real. Oh yeah, that's life and survival. You think nobody gonna take that money? You tripping. You think they gonna send that money back? They not. They ain't sending no USD back. You think it's gonna get returned to sender? That's the exact thing they would be looking for in an American envelope is USD. We didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Us as black people, we wasn't taught that, bro. We wasn't taught that. Now you got a master to teach you. Take your USD and go to different countries in Africa and build up infrastructures. That's what you should have been done. The white man ain't gonna do it. That's how you know he racist. He ain't do it. I mean, come on. You could do that without even touching USD money. Even now, they can just invest in somebody's infrastructure. But see, they always gotta make a deal. They can't just do it from their heart like me and you would. As a black man, you would just take your money, your USD, and just go somewhere with it and just throw it over there to them. You don't even want nothing back from it. Just do what you do, man. Just build up the country, build up the infrastructure, everything. I don't even want no credit. I don't want my name on the buildings. I don't want none of that. Just build up the country, man. Just build it up. Just do it. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Normal. That's what you gonna do. They ain't got the heart to do that. They ain't got the love for the people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was black, if you black or you Hispanic or Latino, you'll build up, like you'll take USD. See, Mexicans, I'm telling you, they probably can't get a good exchange on the money over there though. They ain't gonna do it like that because they too bad, they too close to us. Where they can hustle hard, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure like the USD with the Mexico to the currency over there, the pesos over there, they can't get no USD, they can't get no good value exchange because it's too close for hustling. See how it works? If I come over here and get and just so happen I just work for a little bit, I can go work and make a couple $1 million and go back home and be straight for life. Especially the further you go back in time. If I was from Mexico, I could come over here. I can come over here and work, right? Work for maybe 2 or 3 years. Let's just say I look at it as a contract. I go back over there and take my money if the value exchange is high. I can go over there, I can go back to Mexico and live in the bestest place in Mexico. Live in the best place in Mexico, right? Right. It's a no-brainer. But I guarantee you, without even thinking about it, I guarantee you the value exchange for Mexico to American dollar is not a good exchange on it because the reason why, because they can easily come here and get money and go back and cash it out. Exchange it at a bank and I'm a millionaire like that. Just like that. See, it's gotta always be across the waters where people can't really hustle like that. They can't come across the border and get money and go back. You know what I mean? It is a difference. I know it's a difference, but it ain't a lot though. Because that's the hustle. They gonna throw a monkey wrench in the game. If you're my bordering country, and that's even Canada too. I guarantee you, USD in Canada, it's not too much of a different exchange. Because if that was the case, they could just come here and just do all kind of stuff. Think about it. It's endless. The possibilities are endless. I can come here and work for 3 years and be sitting on $50 million, which I'm gonna be straight for life. The average family gonna be straight for life. And build on the money and send your next generations to do the same thing like it's nothing. And they got another 50 million coming with every generation, and that's their tradition. They gonna get another 50 million with every generation. They raise them up, get them, go come out to America, work 3 years, only 3 years, stay connected with the family, bring back 50 million, and then you could find ways to get more with every generation. That's why I know they ain't do that with Mexico. They ain't do it with Mexico, and they ain't do it with Canada. No. They gotta be away and distant, so they can't hustle like that. Now I can make that $1 to 3,000 because you way across the water. You ain't gonna be able to just walk over here and do this. See how easy it is. See how easy people got it over here with it ain't freedom. For the black man, it's the USD. You know what I'm saying? If you really a hustler, it ain't. We don't got no freedom. We still get treated like niggas. We still get treated like we ain't nothing. So it ain't that. It's not that. It's over here in America, you got the USD. You can take that USD and go put it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody gonna look at you funny. You ain't conning nobody. You a hustler. You a businessman. You just decided to go a different way than the white man did. He might frown on you because you're doing stuff with other countries. See, that's what you're supposed to have done as a black man. You're supposed to went and took your business elsewhere. You're supposed to took your business back to Africa, back to South America. You know, you thought about it for a certain degree. You thought about it to a certain, but you didn't think about really looking at the dynamic of the USD all around the world and how you can get money like that off the USD, just everywhere. You could have built up a whole infrastructure in another country. How you can't? Why you can't? They ain't gonna tell you no. You just gotta mean business because you got some corrupt politicians that might don't want that to happen. And that's where it gets tricky. You got some people that will stop everybody from being manipulated. They can't manipulate no more with the little stuff they do, with the little crumbs they got. See, that's where you'll get a different type of conspiracy against you. You know what I'm saying? That's where it gets tricky. Where even if you go over other countries, you still got politicians that's on power trips. You know what I'm saying? And they want to keep their money, and they want to keep their power, and then you come over there and build up a whole infrastructure. Like, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? And now they ain't got that control. Now they don't really got to listen to this guy or his rules or regulations because you done made it work all out. You done gave him money, food, and see, this is where when you think like this, you got to be ready to kill. You know what I'm saying? You got to because people will look at it like, if you come over here and change our community, I have no power. You gotta read people's soul instead of read people's words. You know what I'm saying? I have no power if you come over here and build up this whole country. Now how can I manipulate? I'm just sitting here while you building it up. Now people don't even respect me, and if you help them a little more, you could even arm them against me. This is how they gonna look at it. You can even arm them against our government, for crying out loud. You could do with the USD. You could be like your own military. You could arm them people. You could act as a military government per se and arm these people. So they'll start looking at you like you the American government or something. You come over there building up, arming the people, giving them arms. Should have been done that too. Yeah, give the people arms. Hey, yeah. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm not joking. See, this is how some people are brains. You got brains and muscle. I'm a little bit of both. Well, you get it. Brains and muscle. In the world, you usually have two types of people. Brains and muscle. Muscle is the people who can go out here and strong arm, you know what I'm saying, and do the groundwork, you know what I'm saying, the foot soldiers. And the brain is the one that sits up in the room and think about stuff, like me. This is why we get paid to be brains, because other people don't, for whatever reason, their brain don't become a muscle. You got brains and muscle, but the brain is a muscle. That's how you became the muscle. But the muscle might not be brains. The brain is a muscle, but the muscle of a community might not be brains. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why people like me, we get paid to be brains. Because I'm going to think about stuff that you wouldn't think about, and then I'm going to bust out of the mold of the white man. He got all kind of molds that he going to put you in as a black man. That you got to realize it like, hey, wait, hold up. I wouldn't think like that. I wouldn't do that. I would do this. I would take USD over here and build up an infrastructure. I ain't going to keep no little cheesy little job, little cheesy little business in America. You know what I'm saying? And then USD to USD, you know, I'm not really doing it. I can go over here and do way more and be celebrated way more. And I can gain international power by doing these things as well. Well, you don't think people will be willing to kill for me if I go out here and build up your infrastructure? Well, that's a perk of the job. Now I got the gangsters and the goons from that country, and I can utilize them against the Americans if I need to. I'm just saying. You don't think they go? If I fed their families and made their life better, you think they ain't going? You don't think I could have soldiers from their community. Of course, they're going to be willing to die for me. I changed their lives. I made them have a life. I made their family smile and be happy. In the happiness that they saw in their family, you don't think they're going to be willing to defend me? See, this is how the black man get down, buddy. This is why this is how I know. Listen, hey, Obama ain't got nothing on me, bro. Shoot, if I would have been a leader, shoot, I would have went to built up infrastructures. I would have took my own money and did it. I would have took my own money. I would have took my own money and went out there and built up infrastructures, everything. And then if I need them, just like Trump he got MAGA, I'm gonna have people like that in other countries. You don't think they'll be, I'm gonna stay networking with them, you don't think they'll be willing to do something for me if I need it? Yeah, of course. I made their families happy, and more than anything, I gave their family food. I ship in food, everything. I mean, I really lift up a whole community, bring life. You can't even show me a country they really brought life to, and they could have been done it. They ain't got the mindset to do it. A black man gonna have the mindset to do it. That's the difference between me and us and them. Because our cultures is different. Our culture gonna bring our grandparents, all that gonna speak through you, and you're gonna see the needs of other people. That's why you like you are, because of the culture you come out of, the families you come from. So when you get bread, what you gonna do? You're gonna say, oh, we can help these people over here. That's your grandma speaking through you. We can help these people over here. We can do this over here. That's how she raised you, to give. She gave to you, and then you start giving to other people. Now, see, the white Americans, they not raised like that. They raised like we build businesses and we take care of our country, and see and then they kids come out and do that. You're a free agent in every sense of the word. So you just grow up with good virtues and morals, and then when you find these tools of USD and what it can do, you utilize it based on your value system that your parents put in you, your grandparents put in you, and you take that money all around the world and do things. I would have brought life to whole fat countries. Like, it's just easy to do. It's too easy to do. See, and see, that's when you would have to go to war. It would have to be a big war. Because you got people that are corrupt and they little men in other countries, and you stop their little reign, what they doing. Because once I feed your community, once I give to your community, you're either gonna be happy about it. You might have some presidents that are happy about it, but you're gonna have some that just feel some type of way because now they don't got no control. They can't manipulate. I can't throw you a piece of chicken for you to bow down to me. You ain't gonna bow down for a box of chicken no more. It's sad, ain't it? When you think about it. People are literally bowing down for a box of chicken. Now, you go over there, you build up the infrastructure, get them food. What the president gonna be? All he's supposed to be is now he maintaining what you done. He's supposed to be grateful for it and maintain it. But corruption is he been maintaining the people with handing out peanuts and crumbs. He got the lion's share, and how he keep his country submitted is he hands out crumbs and everything. He manipulate the materials. He manipulate. And this is all over the world. So then you would have to be also a threat. That's just how it is. See, you can't be powerful without being a threat. See, that's what some of the Americans don't understand. You can't, and see, America has a funny way of trying to, they know this too, but the way they go about it is it's not respected. Let's put it like that. But it's no way in the world you can be powerful without being a threat. You can't, because it's just so easy for someone to just want to kill you and want to get rid of you because you pose a threat. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pose a threat back. My threat is God is with me, and people know that. I'm pretty sure you know. God is with me, and he'll crush anybody in this building. I mean, you listen, buddy, listen. You can't be serious, bro. You talking to a real bona fide leader. God will crush 1,000,000 people like you. 1,000,000. Line up 1,000,000 just like you. He'll crush 1,000,000 just like you. For me. For one man. You understand? And that's the difference. See, you have to pose a threat, unfortunately, in the real world. This is why many Christians in America, you can't go to these levels. Because you're gonna be trying to be a Mother Teresa type of person. And you're gonna get assassinated. Because you ain't willing to pose a threat with God's power. And you don't unlock it because you don't have faith to unlock it. You don't even believe that God will do something to these people, but he will. But because you doubt it, it won't happen for you. In many cases. Because you're going to do a series of other things that goes in a different direction of believing this. You understand? This is why many American Christians, you couldn't be a leader. You couldn't be a leader. You can't be a leader because you have to crush people sometimes. You got to crush people. In order to be a king, you got to crush. You got to crush people. You got to crush the wicked. And that's how you start your reign. People are grateful for you crushing the wicked. Just like me, I'm crushing Illuminati and Freemasons. People are already glad that I'm playing my position. You see, this is how it always works in the real world. A leader winds up, in many cases, he gets celebrated before he even reigns for going to war. Many kings go to war first. Then they become rulers because they crush an evil force in their community. And I didn't try to do it. These people played with me and they thought I wasn't a threat. I'm a threat. I'm always going to be a threat. Because I know that's what it takes to be taken seriously. And anywhere in the world. You can't be Mother Teresa. You can't be Gandhi. That's the mistake that Martin Luther King Jr. made. He tried to be Gandhi in America. You can't be Gandhi in America. You can be Gandhi in India. That worked in that civilization because those people were more reasonable, right? You can't be Gandhi with unreasonable white racist people, rednecks. They'll step on your love. They don't care nothing about you. They killed Martin Luther King Jr. no matter how much love he had in his heart. And people still don't learn. People still don't learn. You can love the people, they'll kill you. Malcolm X, same thing. The bottom line is his own people killed him. Man, he was killed by black people. He wasn't killed by no government. Because all that he was doing in the Nation of Islam and saying about the leaders of the Nation of Islam, that was sending an assassin, a lone wolf assassin in itself. Somebody that think you speaking out against the Nation of Islam. That's who killed Malcolm X. Get your hand out of my pocket. That was a decoy to get so that he'll be distracted. Somebody else came up and shot him. That's exactly what happened. Because in his common sense, because now if he had been outside of religion, then you could say it was then you can question it. But he was killed by people that was part of some way that was bitter about what happened with him outing one of the Nation of Islam's leaders. That's what happened with Malcolm X. That's what happened. Okay? MLK was killed by the government. The day he made the I Have a Dream speech, they put him on the national security list. Did you know that? No, this is facts. They put Martin Luther King Jr. on a security list directly after he spoke the I Have a Dream speech. They put him on the list. Okay? The government, and this is facts as well. Listen, the one thing about me, I don't do no conspiracy theories. You ain't gonna never hear me talk about no Bigfoot, Loch Ness monsters, what else is there? Abominable snowman. I don't care about those things. UFOs, you ain't gonna hear none of that. It doesn't matter, it's irrelevant to our world. You got a million other things that'll take your life. You got a million other situations that'll take your life and has taken people's lives. Why in the world you worried about some Loch Ness monster or Bigfoot or UFOs? Come on now. You got a million other things to take your life. Okay? MLK, his family settled out of court with the American government in December 1999 for conspiring against Martin Luther King Jr. The American government admitted it. Did you know that? Not everybody don't know that. You can go Google it right now. You can go Google it. I already did videos about this. This is also the stuff I talked about. This is why God is not playing no games. Because you are ignorant, right? You are ignorant pawn. And that's what you are. Okay? I crush people like you. And I've been doing that. Okay? See, the difference between me and Malcolm X and MLK is, in these days and times, I have no problem with crushing black people too. Because you have become a whole different animal, literally. You become a whole different kind of person. And so now a leader like me has to be willing to kill people like you. And that's the facts. See, so it's not as pure as it used to be and innocent as it used to be when you find somebody on these levels of MLK and Malcolm X. Because these days, you got to be willing to kill anybody in this country. Any race. Any race. Any race. And you can't tell me I'm wrong about it. I know you know, and ain't no leader that would rise up that would be able to walk around like Mother Teresa. You can't do it. You got to pose a threat. Even though your heart is in the right place, you have to pose a threat. That's what times we live in. This is like Malcolm X 2.0. You can't be out here where you scared that, you know what I'm saying, when you trying to show love to these snakes. You know what I'm saying? You trying to show love to these people they got their own agenda, but they hide behind being black. They talk about they black, but they got their own agenda of homosexuality and lesbianism or witchcraft. That's really what it is. But they cloak themselves in being black like it's a black agenda. But really all it is demonic spirits that done hijacked black to do satanic things. These people are just hijacked by the satanic kingdom. Look at them. They overtaken by demonic spirits. They're hijacked by demonic spirits, and they cloak themselves. These demons cloak themselves in black complexion and skin. But really, they hijacked Africans in this country. That's why you gotta make sure who you paying attention to. There's a whole hijacked community. The satanic kingdom is just hijacking people. They will never do what's right by black people. Okay? It will always go to some agenda for them, for some satanic stuff. It's not going to be purely like I just showed you. This is how a righteous man do. I'll just put money in your country and just let you do what you do. That's it. I don't want you to join the Freemasons or join Illuminati to be with me. I'm not with them. But my point is, that's the only reason they'll do it. And the only reason the Americans will do it if they can put their stamp on it. Where I rather remain anonymous. But then and it's better for it's better for warfare. It's better as a strategy as military, because if I remain anonymous, you ain't gonna know who on my side. I'll build up this country and I'll remain anonymous. Nah, don't put my name on the wall. Nah, don't do none of that. And then if I got problems, I'm gonna come back to you. They ain't gonna know why all these people coming at my head. They ain't gonna know why all them people coming at your head. They gonna say, why all them people from that country coming at these people's head? He helped them. He got them up on their feet on the low and nobody know about it. So you gotta take that stuff from the block that you learned from the block and take it international. And you thought you did it, but you didn't. Now you listen to me. Now you feel like you ain't done it. Man, listen, I go feed other people. I go take care of other people, network with other people. Genuinely, right? But then, of course, there's a give and take. My only give and take is if I need you, I'll call for you. You know what I'm saying? Send your goons and everything like that, boom. See, that's why they fear people like me, buddy. That's why they fear, because listen, my mind is out the box. My mind is free. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I don't care about if my mind is free, I can get my body free. I can get my body free if my mind is free. If your mind ain't free, you can't get your body free. You'll be right in the box. You'll be somewhere, you'll be in the grave or you'll be in prison. If your mind ain't free, if your mind free, you can get out of prison. You can get out of the grave. You can get out of death. Situations of death. If your mind is free. You know, MLK was assassinated by the American government. They admitted it. December 1999, you can go look it up. They paid Martin Luther King Jr.'s family $100, which is a racist gesture to me. You can go look it up. Go Google it. I already did videos about it. I just stopped talking. I talked about it so much, I just stopped talking about it. His mother was killed in a church. Did you know that? His mother was killed in a church. Did you know that? Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother was killed in a church. Black people came back around and say, this is something y'all forgot. But they was trying to save face. They ain't really know. They heard me, the prophet, talking about it first. Then they came back around, put it on the magazine, talking about just in case you forgot. You didn't know as a community? How I know? Because nobody talked about it. Come on, man. I know black people, man. I would have heard about it. From all these people, I would have heard it from the Tupacs and from the other people. I would have heard people talking about sitting around and talking about how Martin Luther King Jr. mother got shot in a church. Some rapper would have talked about it. We ain't never hear, how come we ain't never hear about it in the song? MLK's mama shot in the church. That's a line. That's a real line about how it is here in America. Because if you think it's a coincidence that she got shot in the church, you tripping. Man, no. What's the odds? What's the odds? What's the odds that she got killed in the church? Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother. What's the odds, bro? He meant to go to that church. He knew they were there. But it's just hard for me to believe that was just by himself, you know. But it could have been just some crazy nut that just felt some type of way about Christians. He said Christians was his enemy. You know, and this is why people are very protective about Christians, people coming into churches with Christians. This is what Don Lemon, if he's really educated, this is what he should have knew, going back to Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother that was shot in the church. After that, what you think kind of laws and precautions are going to be taken by people coming up in a church when they target Christians in a church? That's common sense. You looking at your agenda, but think about it. That could have got real nasty, and that's what they looking at. That could have got bad. You can't control everybody that come in no church like that. And you can't say those are not good people. Okay, the man up there, who, you know, if you're smart, you know this guy up there is who he is. But the congregation, you can't say all of them are corrupt, bad people. That's what you got to look at. That misguided maybe, but good citizens nevertheless. And you don't know how bad that could have been. The bottom line is, that was almost like inciting a riot. That's what you got to look at. No, you don't bring nobody into a church. Now, what you should have done was had the people outside the church waiting to talk to the people in the church, and that would have been better anyway, because the Christians might have came up and started talking to the camera and everything, talking to you. You should have did that. But you wanted to go inside the church. You can't do that, because see, it's just too many things. The reason why is because the standard is set for other crazy people. It's not about you, it's about other crazy people. If you're allowed to do that, then other people are going to be, that the standard is going to be lowered, and then anybody named mama can come into a church talking about challenging people in the church. And we know it's because they're Christians a lot of times, you know. You can't allow that to happen. Martin Luther King Jr. mother was brought, she was in a church and brought to her death in a church. Martin Luther King Jr. mother was shot and killed in the church. Okay. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated by the American government. They admitted it. They conspired. Even Edgar Hoover, FBI leader Edgar Hoover, which was also a Freemason. See, Martin Luther King Jr. was planning on being a Freemason. Did you know that? They made him a Freemason after his death, called on site, which is a procedure with Freemasons when someone dies and they wanted them to become a Freemason, or they were going to become a Freemason. So basically, technically, Martin Luther King Jr. is a Freemason. He became a Freemason after his death. That's facts. This is not conspiracy. This is their little procedure in their little community. Okay? So technically speaking, Martin Luther King Jr. is a Freemason. This is why he used the wrong information in the wrong situation. See, the Freemasons are notorious for having all this information, but they don't know what to do with it. You can't have a whole bunch of information and you don't know what to apply at any given time. You just apply what you want to apply. You don't use wisdom and know what to apply at any given time. You just do what you think looks good a lot of times. Like MLK, he was raised by two generations of Freemasons. His granddaddy was a Freemason. His dad was a Freemason. He was raised by Freemasons. Okay, let's understand that. All right, now that's with Freemasons. They have all this information. They gonna read everything. This is what they do. They gonna read all this stuff in the world. But their problem is they don't know what to apply at the given time. They don't know what's applicable. They don't know how it's applicable. They'll just apply whatever looks good. How I know? Because MLK was out here trying to be like Gandhi in America. He said it himself. He wanted to have a non-violent approach to the Americans, the white Americans, that were doing all kind of stuff to them, sicking dogs on them, everything. This was the police, by the way. They were doing all kind of stuff. If I'm not mistaken, using water hose on women, blowing their hair out. The water hose so strong, making them bald and everything. That's how strong it was. It was washing their hair out. Martin Luther King Jr. thought he could be a Freemason, Gandhi, excuse me. He thought he could be Gandhi in America. You can't be Gandhi in America, which means you can't have this non-violent approach to these Americans. You have to pose a threat. That's the only thing they're going to respect. That's why they couldn't stand Malcolm X. You got two type of black people, students of Martin Luther King Jr. and students of Malcolm X. I'm a student of Malcolm X. You got two different empires. Those who are you can't think like Malcolm X and MLK. You can't. You can try to have a balance, but you're going to become a student of one or the other. It's just what it is. I'm a student of Malcolm X because he didn't believe in first of all, he didn't believe all black people were profitable. That's what people forget. He didn't think all black people could come together. He didn't believe that all black people were good. He didn't believe that all black people were we could all work together. No, he didn't feel this way. He believed in house Negroes and field Negroes. That's how we know. Okay, so with a house Negro and a field Negro, it's all about agenda. Whose agenda are you on? You can say you're on the agenda of black people, but we're going to question that when you don't preserve black lives and you don't know what, and you're not really a master at knowing what you're doing with who's who in any given situation when it comes to be two black parties, right? You don't know what you're doing. Right, so you're not that person that really stands for black when you can see another black party and you think you're the only black party. You think you have a righteous cause just because you black. I'm blacker than you. I'm just as black as you, if not blacker than you, because I'm from North Carolina. I'm born and raised. If you not, I don't care about what the niggas say there. I ain't saying that. I don't need their approval. I'm talking about where I was born and how I was raised, right, and what I was around. I was around a whole bunch of black people, right. So I don't care nothing about no niggas from Charlotte. They can't, that's hip hop where they can take your past. You can't take my blackness. I don't submit to hip hop. I submit to God. So I don't need black people to vouch for me in Charlotte, for me to be from Charlotte, for me to be a black man from North Carolina. Let's get that straight. That's hip hop. I'm above hip hop. This is God's kingdom. We're above hip hop. I don't need black people to vouch for me in North Carolina. I'm blacker than you. Most of you people that's from Brooklyn, your family is from North Carolina. Oh, I know, I'm right. My family. I was born and raised in North Carolina. You splitting hairs. You don't know me to say if I'm a sellout or whatever. You're assuming that. You're assuming that you don't know me well enough to know. I know that everything done got dirty and bad, and people gonna say what they feel. And people gonna keep it 100. But at the end of the day, I'm blacker than you. Cause I'm from North Carolina. We know that. Come on. So don't play yourself trying to come out here if you in America, in New York, and you used to, putting yourself against these Puerto Ricans or these other white folks. Don't play yourself playing with a man from North Carolina. Okay, don't play yourself. Because most of your family come from North Carolina, right? I was raised there. How can you be blacker than me up here in New York with all these people? You wasn't raised among Southern black people. Okay, so then all you going by is the little stories which make where you think I wasn't still raised in the South. Okay, so you wasn't. So how you gonna be blacker than me and I'm from the South? Man, come on, stop playing. You playing yourself. You used to being challenged by these white folks and these Puerto Ricans and Latinos and Mexicans. That's what you used to being challenged with, and then you find somebody that's blacker than you from the South and you don't know what to do with yourself. So you gotta try to play games. But see, this is a matter of the righteous Africans against the wicked Africans. That's all it is. And see, these white folks didn't know how to articulate it, and I do. It's the righteous Africans against the wicked Africans. Like I said, them ain't nothing but demon spirits that done hijack them people. They don't serve no black cause. They will not serve no black cause. They don't even know where they at right now. Bugged out on demonic spirits. Bugged out on demonic power. That ain't nothing. That ain't, see, that's a person that can't articulate themselves in front of a camera and make it make sense like I do. If I was fake, I can't sit in front of a camera for hours and hours. You can't get no fakeness from me. You can't get none. A fake boy can't do it. You can't sit you can't act like that. Nobody can. Nobody can do that. That's a clown to even think you can do that. Ain't nobody can come and sit in front of no camera and be acting. You know what I'm saying? And put on a role and speaking from the heart. No. Listen, like I told you, I don't have no insecurities about being real. I know I'm real. That's a long time ago. Now we talking about numbers. Now we talking about that part. Now we talking about money. Okay, not young and broke and talking about being real, but ain't talking about no money in no form or fashion. You too old to be sitting around broken and real. Broken real. Call you Barr. You Roseanne Barr, little cousin, ain't you? B-A-R, broken real, Barr. You just ain't got the extra R. But we put the extra R on there in 2026. Hey, there we go, there it is. You Roseanne Barr, little cousin, ain't you? Broken real. You broke and real. Where that got you at? Still vulnerable to all these wars that's popping off. That's where you at, buddy. And being real, that's not a good place to be. You vulnerable to these. Listen, these wars ain't changing, buddy. This stuff is progressing. If you got a brain, you better get yourself out the hood. If you got some family out the hood, you better go live with them. Cause this finna all be war zone, buddy. This finna be a war zone. If you in New York, you better go down south. This is a war zone. This is gonna be a war zone. You ain't gonna be able to live here. Can you imagine if this war gets 10 times, 5 times worse? In America, what you gonna be doing here in New York? With Trump administration. Your family gonna be calling you down south anyway, watch. Your family in Charlotte gonna be calling you, come on down here, it's bad up there. It's getting bad up there, come on down here. You know how your family is. Come on down here, you can be in this room with your kids in here. Your family gonna tell you to come down south. They gonna start talking to you about it. They probably already talking to you about it. I know how Southern people are. They gonna call you right down there. Yeah, you can come on in here. There's plenty of room in here. There's plenty of room in here. They gonna be telling you, they gonna be having you come down south, I'm telling you. Listen, man, how you need to hear it, man, is the war popped off between black people, man, and I got in the center of it, you know what I'm saying, because the culture came into this situation and they played it for what it is, like ignorant people, and nobody don't want to call it like it is. It was nothing but ignorant people that made this escalate the way it did. Because in black culture, if you ain't got no charges, kick rocks. I don't care I don't care if it's about 1 million children. I don't care. Ask a thug if he cares about if it's children, and you ain't got no charges. You ain't got no charges. Go ask a thug. Oh well, they say it's about children. Oh okay. What thug gonna say? Oh okay. But they ain't got no charges. Oh what? Oh they ain't got no charges. Oh nah, I'm cool. Thug gonna say nah, cause you ain't got no real receipts. And if he's educated, nah, we done too much as black people to each other. All these women been molested, having sex with each other's cousins and all that kind of stuff. Us as black people, we've been doing that as a whole community. So we ain't jumping out here based on something we heard. No. Most thugs gonna tell you that anyway. Nah, we won't want nothing to do with that. Now, if you had some track records or some charges on this dude, you already had something to show us. You ain't got nothing to show us. You ain't got no warrants. He ain't ducking the law. He ain't running from the law. Nah, I'm cool. I can see if he was running from the law or something like that. But if he ain't doing that, nah, we don't want nothing to do with that. See, so ignorant people that wasn't even part of the streets came in. That's how you need to hear it. These internet people, that's who came in and manipulated the streets with money and whatever they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's who came in and manipulated the streets. Cause by code, we ain't jumping off nothing that ain't got no charges. It's that simple. If you ain't got no charges, we ain't trying to hear it. Cause we know how white America and all these Americans are. They play with people and you ain't got no charges. And I'm just another situation that, in the same situation, they played with me and they ain't got no charges. That's what we talking about. I don't gotta tell you nothing. I'm gonna tell you just like a street dude to tell you. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. You ain't got no charges. You know where you can go. You can go straight to hell. You can go straight to hell. Okay? MLK was assassinated by the American government. They conspired against. We always say it's one thing to say you know that, but you couldn't have knew it because you ain't had the evidence of it. I'm saying this based off of real evidence. You didn't know. You assumed. Anybody could assume that. You know, that's easy to assume. But it's another thing to show what really happened. So what really happened was the American government settled out of court for conspiring against Martin Luther King Jr. He conspired against him. You don't gotta take me seriously, buddy. Take my numbers and my information seriously. That's the problem that you got in the black community. You talking about taking people seriously. I don't care if you don't. If you don't, it's gonna be your life, not mine. You listen, if you don't take me seriously, it's gonna be you that's dead. Not me. It ain't gonna do nothing to me if you don't take me seriously. It's gonna do something to you. Cause as soon as you think you can play with me, and you play with me a little further, bro, it's on and popping, bro. I'm talking about all across the chain reaction, all around the whole country. Okay, so stay in your place, little buddy. Good buddy. Call you good buddy. Like a nickname from the 50s, from the 1950s. Good buddy. Call you good buddy. You good buddy. Little witty little black kid running around the neighborhood. Good buddy. Good buddy. You good buddy, ain't you? Yeah, you ain't got nobody to put on top of me, bro. And that's what, as soon as you learn that, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be A-okay. When you learn ain't none of these niggas gonna be on top of me. None. Okay, that's hard for you to accept. And that's, see, listen, as long as you don't step in my lane with that unacceptance, I don't care. It doesn't matter, because listen, I don't live off of your respect anyway, obviously. I don't live off of your respect. I didn't get this far because you respect me. Okay, I just talk more sense than you do. I talk about taking the USD and doing stuff that you didn't think it could do because you didn't know, because you weren't international. I'm international. The first thing you learn when you're international is the USD is gold in other countries. How we know you didn't know that? Because you would have been uncapitalized off of it. You would have been flipped it around and done something with it. You ain't know. That's how you didn't go international. That's how we know. You're still national. How we know? Because you would have, the first thing you would have knew is about the USD around the world. Because you would have went and checked with doing stuff for other countries. And how you gonna do a lot of checking and a lot of stuff and a lot of moving without money? You would have checked to see what the money was in other countries if you was international, buddy. That's the first thing you're gonna learn as a black man. That's how we know you ain't international. You took trips, but you came back uninternational. You came back uninternational. So you got to remember, I'm older than Malcolm X. I am older than Malcolm X when he passed away. Okay? So then when do I supposed to start talking like this? I'm older than him. I'm older than Malcolm X. Oh, you can tell if you listen to the information. You just used to not taking black people seriously in these new generations. That's all it is. But if you listen to the information, you can already tell. You can tell I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm saying what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do. I'm talking like I'm supposed to talk. The difference between Malcolm X and MLK, Malcolm X did not believe all black people was profitable. He called them house niggas. And a house nigga ain't limited to just light-skinned mulatto children and men and women anymore. A house nigga is anybody who serves the agenda of white America or racist America. Any three of those. You are considered a house nigga because you serve for the agenda of the house of a white man or America or racist white America. A field nigga lives to preserve black lives, black movements, black causes, and black thoughts and worldviews and perspectives. That's a field nigga. A field nigga ain't out here getting money. A field nigga look at that as a house nigga because that's the white man's objective. So a drug dealer is a house nigga. Say it like I need to say it. A drug dealer is a house nigga because he serves the agenda of white America. So even though he making money out in the field, he is a house nigga. A white man can't tell you this information. This is why a white man shouldn't be in our business. He should never be in our business because he's not able to fully articulate what's going on over here. So how in the world he gonna be over here in our business? But right here, we take off on him. He can't even have these conversations. He can't even talk about house niggas and field niggas. So why he over here? Just standing around looking, right? That's what I'm saying, bro. That's why me personally, being from North Carolina, I don't allow no white man in my business. And this is why. Because it's certain parts and certain dynamics of things we talk about, we take off on you and you can't even have this conversation. You can't talk about house niggas and field niggas intelligently. You can't talk about it. I can. And it's a big problem, and it's part of the big problem here. And you can't talk about the big problem, can you? No. So why would I let you in my business? Why would I invite you to figure this out? Like these other black people. Why would I bring you in when I know you can't go all the way in all the conversations? When you can't talk about house niggas and field niggas. Oh, it matters. It matters. It matters to God. It matters to God who's these house niggas are and who's these field niggas. If you out there selling drugs, you on the white man's agenda for poisoning, at minimum, for poisoning the people. It's chemical warfare, you can call it. The chemicals of cocaine is chemical warfare. Gets deep, don't it? That's chemical warfare, buddy. Boom. You ain't looking at it that way, did you? See, as long as there was a little bit pleasure with it, that's all they had to do. Put a little bit of pleasure. But your mind gone. Boom. Mind gone. Woo. Walking around like zombies. Got you. He got you. Because it's no secret that cocaine don't grow in America, man. Okay, so then how tons and tons getting in unless they letting it get in? In one of the most secure borders in the whole world. Because they allowed, you consider, how they looked at it was a necessary evil to get their job done. Of destroying you. So if anybody is in the field, they most likely are house niggas based on agenda. How we base that on is agenda. Not slang, not rap music, not culture, agenda. If you're on the agenda of destroying other black people, you are a house nigga because that's the agenda of the white man, a white America. Okay, so in the beginning, the house nigga was the African that was in the house of the white man doing what he want him to do. That was the first time. His agenda was the white man's agenda. If the white man wanted him to cook food, that's what he did in the plantation. The house nigga cooked food. He played with the kids. The little girls played with the kids as a little playmate. And whatever the white man wanted them to do, they was on his agenda. So this is why I stress agenda to define the house nigga, because that's all it boils down to. He was on agenda. That's why he wasn't in the house chilling. He was on agenda. He wasn't kicking up like a fat rat. He was on agenda. And it's no different now. His agenda is to keep this food chain going, which is whether you believe he sent drugs here and to get us locked up, the bottom line is it created a food chain and you was at the bottom. And if you're part of that food chain where the black man just goes in and out of prison and he kills each other, he kills his family, destroys each other, come on, you a house nigga. But you don't gotta always stay a house nigga. But ain't no way in the world you're gonna have the benefits of being a field nigga and a house nigga. Or being a house nigga, you can be a field nigga too. No, you can't have your cake and eat it too. No. And this is what Malcolm X would have told you. Malcolm X would have told you, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't destroy our people talking about you a field nigga. You a house nigga. You on the agenda of the white Americans, and that's what it is. And that's what Malcolm X would have told you if he lived long enough to see the crack cocaine epidemic. He would have told you, you are a house nigga because you serve the agenda of white Americans and Americans to keep us on a certain level in the food chain. Understand? To keep us on a certain level in the food chain. That's why you a house nigga. And you don't gotta be bougie. You could be cool. You could be a cool little house nigga. You could be a slang talking little house nigga, gun toting little house nigga, weed smoking little drugs smoking little cocaine toting house nigga. No, none of that matter. It's about the agenda. That's how we boil it down to. If you're on the agenda of the white man, you are a house nigga. Okay? That's how we figure it out. And these days, the house nigga is in the field, and the field nigga is in the house. In 2026, the field nigga is in the house. He out the way. He ain't out there with all that stuff going on, gang stalking and all that crazy stuff going on. The house nigga is in the field with the gang stalking, with the selling drugs, with the killing the kids and each other, doing all this stuff. That's how that is not a house nigga, and he wind up killing children. He wind up killing black people. How is he not a house nigga? See, you got bamboozled, you got deceived as looking at the drug selling, the killing and all of that, and you think the last thing he was anything affiliated with a white man. That's what you thought. Because he ain't act like nothing like a white man. He don't got to. He don't got to. All he got to do is be on the agenda of the white man. That's it. And he ain't nothing but a house nigga. That's it. That's how we figured out. Because you're going to have all the people shucking and jiving and bamboozling, dancing all around, twerking all around and all that kind of stuff. You're going to have all that going on. And how you going to figure out who's a house nigga? What agenda they on? If they out here on nigga stuff, talking about stuff they ain't heard, them house niggas. They house niggas, bruh. Okay? I don't care how ignorant and ratchet they act, they still house niggas. And that's how you figure it out. It is not more fitting than somebody from North Carolina to tell you who a house nigga is and a field nigga is. I'm gonna tell you better than anybody gonna tell you. That's a 7 hour. I'm gonna tell you better than anybody gonna tell you. Ain't none of these white girls on TikTok gonna tell you. How she know what a house nigga is? How she know what it is? Oh, dudes ain't out here smoking Newports and selling crack. Them house niggas. Man, stop playing, bro. The house nigga is the man, the ones out there on the agenda of destroying the black community. See, most of them white girls ain't never really got around the righteous Africans. You got around the wicked Africans. That's why you act like you act. You ain't never get a chance to be around the righteous Africans in the hood. Because before you got there, you already got played and turned out by wicked Africans. You couldn't even make it to us. You couldn't even make it to the church house. You couldn't even make it to the righteous African seeing you and talking to you. Because before you even got there, you had the gatekeepers out there selling drugs and everything out there. You know what I mean? You had the gatekeepers of the community out there, the hustlers and drug dealers. They turned you out before you could make it to the righteous Africans. So many of you white girls, you ain't never seen the righteous Africans. You ain't never seen them. When you seen the righteous Africans. That's why you act the way you act. That's why you took sides with them, because that's who turned you out. Oh, I'm wrong? I'm right. Go on the internet. You ain't gonna see us there. You ain't gonna see us there. Who you gonna see? You gonna see the righteous, the wicked Africans turning you out, ready to turn you out. Come on down here. Come to the hood. You just glad to be down there. You glad to be down, ain't you? Like Brandy, you want to be down. You glad to be down, huh? No, I'm just saying, it ain't every white girl, but you know what type I'm talking about. Okay, so don't be so smart, you're stupid. Okay, but it is a lot of them. It is a lot of them. And you ain't never seen the righteous African. Because you ain't make it that far in the hood to see the righteous African. You ain't seen nobody like me. Therefore, you don't know what black really is. All you seen was the wicked African version of what African is and black is. And that's all you seen from the culture. You ain't seen no righteous Africans. The closest thing you seen was righteous Africans. If you had a brain, was Malcolm X and MLK and some of and Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? Them righteous Africans. Okay. If you lucky, you make your way to there through all the culture and all the smoking and going out there partying and all of that. That's what you're gonna be down there for. If you lucky, you'll make it to listen to Farrakhan in your right mind as a white girl. You never made it to Farrakhan in your right mind as a white girl, did you? You never made it to none of these to Malcolm X and listen to Malcolm X seriously. You might sit up with your boyfriend and smoke the blunt and listen to him. Now we ain't talking about that. We talking about with a sober mind. We talking about with a sober mind, sitting up listening to Malcolm X with a sober mind. You ain't get to that part, did you? So many of you white girls, man, listen, you ain't never seen a righteous African. See, this is the kind of talks that Malcolm X will be having right now. These white women ain't seen no righteous African. All you seen was the culture boys, the house niggas. The house niggas on the white man agenda. You ain't seen no righteous Africans. You can't even speak about this. You can't even talk about it. The white boy can't talk about it either. He ain't see it either. He saw hanging around the dope boys. Selling drugs with the dope boys. You ain't see no righteous Africans, so you don't know what it is. So you gonna take sides with them. That's what you naturally gonna do. That's what you naturally gonna do. So we don't pay you no attention because we already know who got you before we got to you. Before you could get to us, we already know you done got turned out by the dope boys, and so is them white girls. Them white girls done got turned out by the dope boys. We won't pay that no attention. Because we know we know half of white America ain't gonna make it to the righteous Africans. So we stay in the background. We let people talk and yap and we don't get faded. We listen. You wish you could fade us. Listen, you can't. You can't fade me. Now that's back to black community. You can't fade me, bro. You can't. You the wicked Africans. We the righteous Africans. That's all this is. It ain't no sellouts in it. It ain't no sellouts in it. If anything, it's you. Because you on white man's agenda. You on the white man's agenda. You think Malcolm X would have approved of it? Not one bit, buddy. You think Malcolm X would have accepted you as drug dealers. He wouldn't have accepted you. Malcolm X would have not accepted you selling drugs to your own community and shooting your own community. These other dudes are watered down, and you see them kind of talk to you. You think Malcolm X would have been the same thing, but he's a different caliber, and we know that, don't we? You know Malcolm X is a different caliber where he would have been more passionate about black people killing their own people than all these people that's out there now. None of them wasn't the same caliber. Which means he would have had a stronger approach to you killing your own people with drugs and gang banging and killing. He wouldn't have accepted you. Farrakhan done even said he cannot talk to black people no more. He gonna go away for a while because black people not listening to him. He said that on Savior's Day, July 4th, 2020. Go look at the whole message. I've been listening to Farrakhan for over 13 years, off and on. Okay, so I've sat down with a sober mind and listened to Farrakhan. Have you done that? Okay, so then me and you two different type of animals, bro. These white girls ain't done it either. And these white dudes ain't done it either. And nobody else. And some of these Hispanic or Latinos, you ain't never listened to Malcolm X. You ain't never sit down and listen to Malcolm X and Farrakhan. Okay, so then you out of league. You are way out of your lane talking to me. You you don't even understand what this is all about from a black man's perspective. You way out of pocket. Okay? That's where I'm at with mine. Yeah, I just don't deal. Listen, you got two types of Negroes. Those who are loyal to the first generations of Africans. Those who are loyal to the present generation of Africans is the other one. So I don't have to be loyal to these people that you see. I only have to be loyal to Malcolm X. I only have to be loyal to Farrakhan. I only have to be loyal to the founding fathers of African Americans. You see, they told you I had to be loyal to them to be black. No, I don't. I got to be loyal to the first generations, because you that's out there now is killing each other so bad. God don't even want me to be loyal to you. So you got two type of Africans. Those are loyal to the first generations of Americans, and those who now, the second one is the ones that's loyal to the present generations of African Americans. And they're not one and the same, because the worldviews and the perspective is not one and the same. So I'm loyal to the African Americans, the founding forefathers. That's it. That's all I got to be loyal to. And you can listen. You can think whatever you want to think. But I just said what I said. Right? I said what I said. Now, I don't have to be loyal to you, because you contradict yourself. You contradict what it is to be black. And that's the difference. See, that's what a white boy don't know about. That's what the white girls don't know about. Okay then, so see, that's why this is why I don't allow you in my business. Because it don't make sense to me. That's just like me going and being in Puerto Rican's business. I don't know Puerto Rican culture. I don't know their leaders. I don't know who they respect. I don't know their teachings. I don't know what their teachings are. So then why would I be over there in their business? Why would I be over there? I don't know them. I don't know. I can't intelligently talk about their culture. And they can't intelligently talk about mine. Not all the way, like the house niggas and field niggas, where we really split hairs and figure this out. Who really is the house niggas? Those who are on agenda of white Americans. That's the house niggas. Can a Puerto Rican tell me that? Okay then, so then you couldn't get down to the bottom of it, could you? And that's all that matters. You could talk about a little bit of this, you could talk about a little bit of that, but you couldn't figure it out, could you? And then therefore you would be worthless when figuring out these politics. In my community, you would be worthless. All you would be doing is looking for street body language and street culture mentality. And certain stuff like that. Certain American things. But when it comes down to house nigga versus field nigga, you ain't got no conversation, do you? And that's all I'm talking about, buddy. Then you couldn't figure it out. And nobody else could. The Mexicans couldn't, the Puerto Ricans couldn't, nobody could figure it out. Who's gonna figure it out? But other black people. The masters, the real masters. And when we find that you are on agenda of white Americans, I win. You played with me first, right? You came out here on nigga stuff, right? I win, bro. Listen, it don't even matter what you talking about. You came out here on nigga stuff, you lose. And that's what you can't stand. The masters, the real masters, gonna tell you this. Bring Farrakhan in and ask him who wins. When niggas played with me. When niggas stepped in my face when I was minding my business. Tell me who won. When I'm talking this kind of level of information, and when they find out I'm a prophet on top of that, tell me who won. When you got child molesters in each African American family tree, most of them, because of all these women complaining about being molested, and they talking about pedophiles. When they got child molesters in most of their family trees, all these black women, most of these black women, 60% of them been molested. And the further you go back in generations, the more you're gonna see it. Huh? Oh, go ask your family. Go ask your aunties and them. Did something happen to them when they was kids? Now I'm talking about the black community now. So you didn't know what you was doing. See, you was playing checkers. I played chess. That's checkmate. Get yourself together first. That's the first rule of the old school. Get your own house in order before you try to get mine in order. Get your own house in order. Don't try to come get mine in order, sucker. I listen to Farrakhan. I listen to the real righteous Africans. The people who put in work for black people. You ain't done nothing. You ain't even figured out USD gold, taking it around the world and helping Africans. I done sent money to Africa. You done sent money to Africa? Huh? I'm talking about ground level. It's easy for rich people to do it, to throw a little money here, throw a little money there. No, I'm talking about you on ground level. You send money to Africa. I done sent money to Africa. You did it. You ain't done it, have you? That's all I'm talking about, buddy. That's all I'm talking about, good buddy. That's all I'm talking about. See, I can't talk intelligently about Hispanic or Latino culture in America. So what would I look like going over there? So what's the difference? Oh, they got a little understanding, real recognize real. Well, then why real recognize real still fall out with each other? If real recognize real, why real niggas always killing and falling out with each other then? It shouldn't be a problem. If we both understand each other and recognize each other, then why is there a problem? You know what I'm saying? Don't take it to the extreme. I'm right. If real recognize real, why niggas falling out with each other? Real niggas falling out with each other all the time then. It shouldn't be no problems. I'm talking about homies too. Because you still got pride and arrogance and everything else to deal with in these hoes that they try to impress all the time. You got that going on too. Yeah, don't ever talk to me about no real recognize real and real niggas falling out with each other all the time. Make it make sense. See, you got them cliches. That's what I'm saying. Them cliches don't work with no master, buddy. Don't ever tell me talking about real. Well, real recognize real. That's why the Puerto Ricans can see who is. They can't talk about these house niggas and field niggas. No, they not. I ain't never seen a Puerto Rican talk about. I ain't never seen in my life even a Puerto Rican articulate house nigga and field nigga. I ain't never heard them articulate it. Have you? You heard a Puerto Rican talk about house niggas and field niggas? That's funny to me. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen Puerto Ricans talk about house niggas and field niggas? Some don't even know what the concept is. Old school might. Old school Puerto Ricans might. Young Puerto Rican niggas, they know about house niggas and field niggas, bro. House nigga, field nigga. They might be able to put that together in this plantation time, but they gonna be able to bring it up to the present time and articulate it properly. Huh? See, half of y'all black people can't even do it. Tell us what house niggas and field niggas are now. Because Uncle Tom is in living his best life with white girls and white people. Drinking Chardonnay right now in the backyard. He in a tent. Hey, they camping out in the backyard drinking Chardonnay in the tent. Hey, Uncle Tom with the white girls and the white dudes getting freaky, doing threesomes with the white boys and white girls. Oh, come on, let's keep it 100. You know some of them Uncle Toms they gonna mess with women and men, ain't they? They gonna get up with the white girls and mess with the white boys and white girls, ain't they? Huh? And he over there drinking Chardonnay in the tent. They got a whole house, he in the tent, they in the tent like white people back in the backyard drinking Chardonnay in the tent. We camping out. Got the music going, everything. He living his best life with white people. See, what you gotta understand, anybody talking is not an Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom ain't gotta talk no more because he won. Uncle Tom won. Well, you killing each other, you killing black children, all he gotta say is that and checkmate. Well, now people see why I don't deal with you. That's all Uncle Tom gotta say, he won. Listen, you can't do evil and think nothing ain't nobody else gonna get, you ain't gonna hold no L's. You holding all type of L's, you ain't look at it that way. See, that's the problem with being desensitized. Desensitized to all this stuff going on, you didn't even look at the L's you was holding. Because you just swept it under the rug, along with white America. But you was holding L's, all type of L's. You can't kill children and black people and think you ain't holding no type of L's. Oh, you wasn't. You ain't. You are. You know what L, the main L you holding? You ain't got no credibility in the international community. Well, how you gonna kill kids and kill each other and have international credibility? How? Oh, the money, the fame. People see through that, buddy. People see through that. They listen, they done with that. The best done died anyway. After Michael Jackson and Prince died, that was it. You talking about barely grade A famous musicians, barely. After Prince and Michael, the magic was gone. And you know it and I know it. That was the highest levels of it. Once that was gone, that was it. Well, you could start with James Brown. After James Brown died, that was it. You could say that. That was the end of the best blackness and all of that. That was gone, bro. After James Brown, that was it. Which, we count back to what? Going on 20 years ago? Yeah, man, come on, listen, man. Listen. After James Brown, that was it. And Prince and Michael probably felt like that. Once James Brown died, they probably didn't even really want to live after that. Not them two. Not them two. And then now that all three of them gone, that was the magic right there. Who else? Chuck Berry. We black people didn't really know Chuck Berry like that. We knew James Brown, and that's who we start off with. Who else? Truthfully, that you really truthfully listen to. You started with James Brown and down. That's it. Pretty much. You might have some people digging the craze, but not all of us collectively. We started from James Brown and then on down to Prince, and we kind of kept Michael a little bit, the old hits a little bit, but it was James Brown and Prince, and for a while, after Michael got strange. See, what I believe is with Michael having all them brothers, something happened to him sexually. Well, think about it. He got 4 other brothers. You telling me nothing happened? He already complained about having seeing his brother have sex in front of him. He seen his brother have sex. So you think that's all that happened? Come on, man. You don't use your brain. Use your brain. That's not all that happened. That's why he was like that, passive and all that. I can't say which one did something. I can't say what happened. I know he explained it. I know he seen his brother have sex. That's what he said. Ain't nobody that is that popular can't have meaningful relationships with women. That tells you something happened. Ain't nothing can. I'm telling you, the best thing can do it is something happening to you sexually when you a kid. That's what can confuse your whole sexuality. Something happened to Michael Jackson. That's what happened. Nobody want to admit it, but that man explain how he gonna be the most famous man in the planet. Any kind of girl he want, any kind, would have willingly, especially before Michael was bleaching his skin, when he looked like Thriller, that Michael Jackson. He could have had any woman, any kind of woman he wanted, man. Black, white, Asian, Egyptian, I don't care what it was. Michael Jackson, yes, I marry you. Man, he could have had any woman he want, and then he was black on top of that. So this was a black man? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You tell me why Michael didn't have no meaningful relationships with women if he liked women. You see all them women all around the world. You tell me you ain't gonna pick one of them and just pick somebody? I'm gonna pick somebody in a minute. That part. I'm finna pick me somebody in a minute. Shoot. That's what you gonna be sitting saying. I'm finna pick me somebody. Hey, well, I'm gonna just start from here. How about that? I'm gonna just start over here. There we go. Come here. So you stay with her about 2-3 years. And see, the game goes, and when a woman see another woman on the man, that's when all the women start coming. All the women come. Once they see Michael with a woman, see, the women probably already thought Michael was gay, because see, women question this stuff before men do. Well, that's just how it is. Women been questioning Michael Jackson's sexuality. Men ain't gonna think about it. All we gonna think about, the dancing and Michael made good music and all of that. Women gonna think, I wonder if he's gay. I think he's gay. Well, how come you don't see him with no woman? That's what a woman gonna think. Where is Miss Michael Jackson? You know how women are. Where is Miss Michael Jackson? You ever thought about that? But then he around children. See, something happened. Something happened to Michael, man. That's all. Let's admit it. I think it was between them brothers. I think something happened. It happens. Some people bounce back, some people don't. But I think that's what happened with Michael Jackson. One of his brothers did something or something. You ain't gonna never know that. Come on. And then he was the most popular one. That's what's gonna attract his brothers to him as kids. He the most popular little brother and dancing around all the time. Think about it. That's what did it. Most likely. It's the truth. You explain it how Michael didn't choose out of all these women. I mean, he had the best looking women around him. Think about it. He had to. Even when he did shows and everywhere, all the women he seen, You telling me he couldn't pick one and just say, well, that's good enough? You telling me his mind didn't see some beautiful women and and think that's good enough? Come on. Something ain't right with that. Something happened. And I can't tell you what, and I ain't gonna say it's limited to one of his brothers. It could have been somebody we don't know nothing about that he was around. It could have been that kind of situation. Some people we don't even know that we ain't see in their personal life that did something to Michael. It could have been more of that situation. But it's just not normal for a man to not pick no woman with all that success. And you can pick any kind of woman you want. It ain't even based on your looks totally. No. It's based on who you are. You can dance, you can do all this other stuff. You're on TV, you're a superstar. They looking at all of that and money too. On top of that, man, listen, set for life. And, you know, you can't tell me what you can explain that intelligently how he ain't pick no decent woman in his life. I mean, I'm talking about a bad, decent. Michael could have had any kind of woman. That's the worst fail that Michael had, was that he never had no real beautiful woman that he could have had. He could have had any kind of woman. He could have had a little dancing woman dance a little bit, everything. He could have even got that a little bit. He was all in those fields, like with all these beautiful women dancing and everything. He could have chose one of them women. Even if it was like, okay, he want a musician woman, he could have had that too. He was around all the musicians. He was around all these women that you'll never know, that didn't totally make it to success. All kind of beautiful women. Man, it's no excuse. It's no excuse. It's no excuse, man. That was the biggest fail. He didn't really have love. He didn't really fall in love. Who? With who? He ain't fall in love with who? That's sad. He made all them songs. Them songs wasn't even real. Real to who? About who? All them songs of love, who it was about? At best, it was little infatuations along the way. Little beautiful women he seen and made a song off of them. He probably seen some women that beautiful. But at the end of the day, Michael Jackson was never in love. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad to me. A person like that, always singing about love all the time. You know what I'm saying? Always singing about love, and you realize he was not really, that was just raw talent. That wasn't really singing about love because there was nobody there. You realize that, right? There was no one there. Think about what I'm saying. That's why you know it was talent. Wasn't nobody there. Who are you singing about then? It's sad. That's sad. That's why I say it's the saddest thing that happened to Michael. Is he had no love. He had no woman. He had no woman of love. We at least loved the woman, but it was the wrong person. But Michael didn't even really have no love, man. I mean, nah, I don't think so. I think he cared about women, certain women, but like in love, nah. Come on, we know Michael good enough to know he would have went into talking about the woman and all of that, making songs about her and all kind of stuff like that. That's what you expect of Michael Jackson. These songs about this woman, yeah, and Broad Day and Tiffany. You know what I'm saying? Just a song name. Everybody know who Tiffany is. No Tiffany songs. You know, come on. He ain't make no songs about no woman. No particular woman. That's sad. That's real sad. That's life, though. That's life. Life is very mysterious, bro. I tell you. People who got all the talent, all the money, to sing about love, but never really had it. And me and you, we did at least have some type of love. Michael Jackson didn't have no love. But Prince, same thing. All that lust and love songs, and you can count on both hands how many times you seen Prince with significant love. You can count on both hands the women of his life. Apollonia, Denise Matthews. I know the real names. Vanity. Y'all call Vanity. See, people don't know, Vanity started out with Rick James. That's why Rick James and Prince didn't like each other, because of Vanity. You can go read the information on it, yeah. Rick James had Vanity first. And she went with Prince doing a tour. And she never went back to Rick James. So it was ego. That's what it was. It was, they both played the guitar. Rick James and Prince. Why they should have been the best of friends, just based on them both playing the guitar. And just that rock feel that they both had. But it was Vanity. That's what it was. That's what separated them. Because she started out with Rick James, and then she went with Prince on a tour. They was touring together, I'm guessing. And the story goes, she went with Prince, got on his tour bus, and that was the end. That's how it started. That's how it happened. And but I can tell you one thing. Ironically, man, Rick James had him Tina Marie. You could at least say he had a little woman though. They had some good times together, had some music together. You could say Rick James wasn't comparable to Prince and Michael Jackson, but I'll tell you one thing, he got him a woman. And I know you can tell with all that music they was making, they had some good times. They had some good moments. Prince didn't really have no woman he was in love with like that. And Michael Jackson didn't either. Rick James got him a woman he was in love with, Tina Marie. And she made her own music, and she did good making her own music. So, but now that all Rick James is gone, Tina Marie is gone, all of them, man. It's not the same. It's not the same America. It's not the same vibe with those people gone. See, we all make up a certain collective vibration, collectively. You know what I mean? And once they are gone from that vibration, it's not the same America, man. It's not. We could play their music all day long, but their vibration is not here. That's how it is. That's really how it is, man. All these rappers, a lot of them gone too. So to me, I call this the fullness of time, because you can look at any history of any country and you can see where it meets its peak. You can already see that with Michael Jackson, that's the peak of music. It ain't gonna be nobody like that out there, because times don't complement that type of talent. All you're gonna find is rappers, because that's all that's going on. I mean, you can find some singers, but it's just too many other elements where it doesn't complement that type of artist like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson made innocent music about love. It's not an innocent time as it once was. So now, someone singing like that wouldn't get the attention of the kids. It wouldn't. Nope. It's too innocent of a music. The music is too innocent. Like, it gotta have that dark edge to it. It gotta have something to it that's going on right now, that kind of vibe now. So, that time is gone. You ain't gonna find no kind of talents like that expressed the way he expressed his talent. It's not gonna be any talent like that expressed like that. So the point is, the peak has already been made. Now it's declining. Now it's going down. And that's basically what it is. That shows you, if you look at history as a timeline, you can see it. It's almost over, because you had James Brown come in, Prince, Michael Jackson, all of them died, and then it's declining. That's how civilization happens. It grows, it comes to a golden age, and then a corruption age. It starts from a Genesis, golden age, corruption. Once it hits the golden age, it can't be a second golden age, because It has to be other elements and things in place. See, our whole community got told apart. You can remember how it used to be in the 80s. I'm an 80s baby. I can remember how the movies was, the energy of the community was, how it felt when you was with family, all of that stuff, the energy in the air, the energy in the community, going to the beach, all that kind of stuff. As kids, just the vibe and the energy in the air, man, that's gone. That's gone. See, that's the collective vibration of the people. Once that's gone, you can't get it back. This is the hardest thing people don't understand at the last days and the last end of the world. You can't get back energy and make it like it was, because the mentality of the people are gone. Once the mentality of the people is gone, that civilization has to start over. And they become humble, grateful, and through hard work, a golden age comes. But the people are humble because of the past. See, once we get comfortable with this golden age too long, people become corrupt and greedy. Then it gets torn down, and you got to start all over. Now you're humble because you don't have anything. You see how it happens? And different societies come like that. That's how they're built. It gets torn down, you're humble again, you're grateful for what you built. It's a cycle of life. You're grateful for what you built, and then you get a golden age, and then you bask in that, and if you're lucky, that golden age lasts for a very long time, or corruption comes in and people get greedy and people don't care about life, and we get comfortable with what we have as a community and all of this stuff. It's all over. That's what happened. I made these videos a long time ago. You got in any empire, and America is no exception, you have 3 stages: the Genesis, the Golden Age, and the corruption. That's the only 3 stages. We went past the Golden Age with all the music, all the culture, all the money, and now we're in corruption, where it's just corrupt. And you can't go back to a golden age. It's just not how society, civilization, and history works, and humanity works. Once the minds of the people are too gone, they have to be destroyed off. And a new community comes in that is grateful, humble, they rebuild, and through that rebuilding creates a certain humility, just like any other community or the first America. They were humble to a certain degree, but then pride comes in and all of that. That's normal. That's gonna happen. You got everything going. You can do whatever you want to do. Pride comes in. That's what happened. So, it's no need to even talk about the old America because it doesn't exist. Even back to Prince and times, and people say that's the America. This is the same America. No, it's not. Prince is not even here. That's number one. The kind of people that listen to Prince are older. We're out the way. We're not the teenagers. I was a kid when Prince came out, and but I was alive when he made Purple Rain and all of that. I was here, Same thing with Thriller. I was born when Thriller came out. I was born into Thriller. I was born the same year Thriller came out. So it's been a Michael Jackson world since I was born. I was born the same year Thriller came out. Mind you, he was already with the Jackson 5 by the time I was born. That was already well and done. And but you can't go backwards. And see, this is why you have to be so sensitive to what you have, because once you realize, we can't go back. Nah, we can't go back to none of that stuff. We can't, how everybody used to be. Even when they used to do drugs, people used to sit out and smoke weed and enjoy it and be tripping and black people be dancing around and tripping. And That vibe ain't even there no more. People smoke weed, they get quiet, they don't want to talk. That's gone. Even getting high ain't even what it used to be. Everybody smoke weed and want to sit around and be quiet. As soon as that started happening, I wasn't even interested in getting high no more. Back in the day, people used to smoke weed and trip, drink and trip. Like not drinking, be quiet. How you know you're high if you ain't talking? How you know you're tipsy and you ain't talking? That's how you know. You gotta move around a little bit. Now you know you're tipsy. If you just sit there quiet, to me, you can say you're enjoying the feeling, but it's one track. It's a better dimension of enjoying the feeling. It's many dimensions. You know, some people just, I don't know. They just like, it's just an art. It's an art to enjoying all of it, but it's gone. It's all gone. And most of us that did enjoy those things that way, we don't find much pleasure in them like we used to, because people don't act the same when they do those things. When they get high, most people don't think right, man. So me coming being an '80s baby, I can tell you a good part about the last good moments of America. To me, the '90s was the last real generation of the last decade of America. The 1990s. That was the last mysterious, fun, just cool, decade of America, man. They had this mysterious element, man, this depth. After the 90s, 2001, 9/11, once that happened, that changed the people. It happened here in New York, but that changed America. That changed how we seen America. That changed this vibe about understanding humanity and its intentions towards each other. That's when we realized there was whoever did it. I can't say who it was necessarily, but whoever did it was showed us another level of malicious intentions. And that changed the world. That changed how people seen. That changed America. That was the first beginning. Then we had Iraq, the Iraq War, Afghanistan from 9/11, and the Iraqi War. All those things started to change how we seen America, and it just the culture, the music, and everything. It just wasn't the same. It just wasn't. How do you know? Because we're just now really 2 decades. Does it feel like we just like a little over 2 decades in a millennium? No, it doesn't. It feel like way more than that. But we're just like basically 30 years into the millennium, 3 decades into the millennium. And then you can't really tell me the sense of style with each generation or each decade, how it changed. And from the 80s, you can look at the 80s and look at the hairstyles of the people, the clothes, the culture, the music, everything. Cars, everything. And you could say that's the 80s or that's the 70s. And how we know how people wore their hair, everything. But you notice it ain't none of that going on no more. Hairstyles, different hairstyles. Not since the 2000s. No. Show me what new hairstyle black people got since the 2000s. Dreads, that's all you can say. Black people started dreading their hair. That would be it. We've been doing that, but we didn't do it as African Americans. A lot of black people didn't do it. Now, a lot of black people dread their hair for the past, almost I would say, what, 16, 17 years? Mm-hmm. And Lil Wayne is the one that really influenced people to start dreading their hair. A lot of people don't want to admit that, but he did. It was Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was the one that really made black people look at dudes with dreads. Like, before that, we seen people with dreads, but we ain't really want it. We ain't want dreads. Lil Wayne made kids want dreads. So I would date that back to about, what, 2008, 7. So about 19 years, something like that. But Lil Wayne's the one that started, Americans wanting dreads. So that's probably, I would say, one of the most distinguished changes in style. But just like how it was in the 80s, where it was the cars, the culture, the music, the hairstyles, you could just look and say, oh, that's the 80s. But can you do that with the 2000s? If you outside of hip hop? Not based on hip hop. Okay, the long shirts, that was the 2000s. Them long shirts, I never got into that. But them real long shirts, everybody was getting that. That was like the early 2000s. The do-rags came back for a minute. Obviously, gold teeth had a revival. That came back. Platinum. That became big. Yeah, but you can't really, if you look outside of hip hop, overall, you can't really see that distinguished difference in, like, with each decade, like you did with the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, and the 60s. You can see a distinguished difference. You could look at people, you could look at a movie and even know the difference between the 70s and the 60s. And the 80s, of course. And the 90s. You could say, okay, how she wearing her hair, that's the 90s. But you can't do that in the 2000s. You can't say, okay, she wearing her hair like that, that's the 2000s. That's the first decade or the second decade. You can't do it. The only thing they be doing is wearing they shirt off their shoulder like that, which looks like a beat up tramp. You just ran from getting beat up. Got your shirt hanging off your shoulder. She almost got beat up and raped. She barely got away. She got a shirt hanging off her shirt. She ran from getting raped almost. I don't like that style. I don't like it. Wearing their shirt off, they jacket off their shoulders and all that. Ain't nothing it came from a drunk girl sitting around halfway drunk. That's what, and she thought it was cool, just halfway off her shirt all the way halfway off. There ain't nothing but a drug girl or adult girl that started that, I guarantee you. Girl getting high, she was just cool, she just left it like that. She was just vibing and she just left it like that. That's what started them trends. I with that trend right there. That's the only little distinguished little difference that I seen lately. Them girls wearing their shirts off, they jacket off their shoulder, off one shoulder or some stuff like that. Or both shoulders. Some girls have it kind of round off of both shoulders. That ain't really nothing going on. That ain't really nothing. Man, I grew up with a lot of style and flavor. You know what I'm saying? That's so for me, being a kid that grew up in the 80s and 90s and seeing all the different changes, like I have to see distinguished differences, distinguished changes. You really don't see it in America. You don't see that. You don't see it. It's gone. Like, man, y'all will never know how it was, man. You know, you can watch all the videos, but the vibe, to live out the vibe of the 90s, the music, the movies ain't even good. That's another thing. The movies, the unique characters they came up with, all the different type of movies, that time is gone, bro. The movies that they come up with now is interesting, but not like classic interesting. Like, it's good enough to like always never forget it, but it was just a whole nother superstar in the director, like how they thought and just how they brought stuff together, man. But just even with the music, the soundtracks. I remember soundtracks, buying soundtracks for the movie. You don't even see that no more, and that's a money issue, I guarantee you. Like, people used to buy the soundtracks for a movie. You used to go to the movies. To go to the record store, and there would be movie soundtracks with rappers on them and singers on them, and it would be all the music from the movie. They don't do that no more. That's gone. The soundtrack is gone. Man, we used to love buying them soundtrack albums, cause it was just like all these different people together on a movie soundtrack. I don't know what. I guarantee it was money though. Money did that. Guarantee you. It was labels, probably labels. Didn't want their artists on these movies or whatever. The money wasn't good enough, something like that. Something to that degree. I guarantee you it was a money issue. Or people couldn't just afford the artists. They couldn't afford to make a soundtrack for their movie. It could have been that, which is back to a money issue. But man, that was another thing. Them soundtracks. See, that was all the '90s. Buying the soundtracks to the movie, from the movie with the musicians getting together doing the soundtrack. Wow, it was great. But that time is gone. You know, this you ain't gonna find no soundtracks. You ain't gonna find that going on. You know, so I'm trying to show you, like, whatever you held on to from the past, that is gone. The best way, this is the only way, like love is what keep things going. Like, all that good music we had was love, you know. The people had love in their heart, love in their souls, and they made good music, and that music inspired everybody. It stayed around for a long time. Without love, you can't make music, you can't make good stuff. You can't do it. It's not coming from the right place in your heart. It could be a real place and all of that, but without that real powerful love element, you can't be inspired to make them great songs, like, because it's just not, you're not on the same wavelength to even think about certain notes in lyrics from a love perspective if it's not that powerful in you. You can even be in love, but it's not a love environment. When it's a love environment, you're going to produce love music like the 60s to 70s, man. They was out there loving each other. Black people loving each other, man. Man, that's the era I missed. Like, I didn't get to see that. I didn't get to see, like, black people really loving each other. Like the 60s and the 70s. Like, the real soul brothers. Like, I didn't get to see that. By the time I was a teenager, that was 1994. I turned 13 in 1994, so, you know, that was already crack. Crack was out for about 10 years, and I was just a teenager, and crack was on the scene. Gang banging was on fire. Crips and Bloods was all across the country. Gangs and gang banging was everywhere in 1994. Yeah, so, yeah, I didn't get to see that love, but it was still kind of that cool vibe, though. You know, you still was cool with people, though. In the 90s, you still were cool with people. But I ain't not that love like that people got when they made that great music. You know, that's why it's something we have to cherish, you know, because it like I said, love songs are not even almost believable because nobody's living it. So it's hard to, like, it's almost like you can put it on and you can wish for that kind of stuff, but it's not relatable to what you're going through. That's why even songwriting has to change, you know, because you can't make these great grand songs of love and no one's living it. It has to be relatable. That's what's going to be the most successful songs, is the things that's the most relatable. And so if it's not relatable and people like, well, I'm not that in love, you know, let me change the channel, I ain't that in love. No, we ain't got that kind of love, baby. Oh, come on, play the song. Well, I want to listen to something else. We ain't got that kind of love yet. We'll get there. But when people talk about tarnished love, and people are jumping on to that because that's really what they have. So honest songwriting is going to produce this tarnished kind of love song now. Because toxic even, that's what people is going to celebrate because that's what they have. It's like once you lose love, see, it's a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary godly tale, man. Love, once you lose it, in a society, you can't get that back, buddy. You got to do a lot of work. Whew. A lot of pain, because people out there, some people out there, because they lost other people. They gone off because they lost others. They out there now want to come back because other people they done got killed out there. And they just stuck out there. They just want to be out there. It's a lot of pain out there. It ain't just people stuck on stupid and just it's people out there in the streets trying to live times that they used to have with other people and all kind of things, man, and just trying to chase the ghost of other people. If that makes sense. And it's a lot of good talents that got killed along the way too, man. Even though talent ain't what it used to be, man, but man, it's a lot of talents that got killed along the way, man. A lot of pain out there, man. I tell you. And that's why, anybody we find that's doing it on purpose, man, they got to be put to death. And we got to, man. With that's the punchline, man. With all this pain going on and lack of love and people regretting that the times have changed, and then you got somebody out here on purpose, not defending themselves like I'm doing, but out here just like on some retarded stuff where they trying to sabotage people without a cause at all. Ain't no reason behind it. Worth nothing. That type of person has to be eliminated, man, from the humanity that we have. In order to be a king, you have to make those type of decisions. A real king has to kill people. They have to. Because it's certain people, man, for whatever reason, basically they get hijacked by the satanic kingdom. They get hijacked by demons. And they can cloak themselves as black people, but they really like aliens. They done got hijacked by demons. And and they'll act like they black. They'll have all the hairstyles, the dreads. You know what I'm saying? They'll look like a good Nubian brother or sister or whatever. But they hijacked by demons. They hijacked by demons, you know what I'm saying? And that could be rappers too. That could be rappers, witchcraft people, all kind of people. They hijacked by demons, bro. And that's how the satanic kingdom comes in and communicate their way of thinking and everything with these people they've hijacked, So, when you find someone that has the Holy Ghost, you're lucky. God, the true test of God is, listen, His kingdom is still here. Through all these changes, God's kingdom is still here, man. You got people still filled with the Holy Ghost like me. I'm still filled with the Holy Ghost. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what goes on, we still gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens. See, this is why people start looking to us, because that's all that's left. The love that they had naturally for each other out there in the streets is gone. The good sense and the good way of thinking, that's gone too. So then what you gonna do? You're gonna start listening to godly people. You forced to, because they the only ones that is preserved in love and the right way of thinking about all this stuff going on. You know, so people that just do stuff to play around with the community, they have to be eliminated, man. See, people see that with a sober mindset, just like it's no bull crap. It's no bull crap involved. It's like, okay, if once we realize you caused this problem and the world was already bad anyway, but we feel like you escalated the situation. We feel like you escalated collective karma for America. The Freemasons, they escalated karma for the country. Okay, I'm telling you that as a prophet. They did so much nationwide, it came up before God collectively, bro. You can look in the Bible and at times it will say that so much stuff happened, it came up before God. I forget what scriptures that is, but I'm gonna look that up too. But you can look up scriptures where, like, basically what people do comes up before God, the sins that people do, right? And with the gang stalking, that stuff got so bad, bro, all over the country, that God decided to do something about it. God decided to do something about it, and you could sit here and patty cake, put them in a pan, and you know what I'm saying, and you could think it's a game, and all it's gonna take is a couple more notches. This stuff go up a couple more notches, and it's over with. See, a person that's a loser don't care about that. You do. You care about it because you a winner. You know what I'm saying? So see, you would think that I'm one of these losers, like that I don't care because you don't see X amount of things in my life, but I'm still a winner. You know what I'm saying? I still can put my best foot forward and talk about healthy things, even though look at all I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? I still can feed people even through my situations. That's how you can tell who I am, because I still can inform people, educate people, even through what I'm going through. But look at them. They don't do anything. They're a problem, man. That's like, it's just like, ew. You know what I'm saying? You can't see that type of person. So you could tell if I get in a better situation, I'm gonna be okay. You could tell. Now, what about them? What they gonna do? What they gonna do if they get in another situation? Gravitate back to negativity, gravitate back to foolishness, gravitate back to non-progressive things, non-progressive talking conversations, or non-progressive mentality. That's it. That's how far they can go. And once you realize that's how far they can go, that tells you they got to be cut off. Anything that is not progressive have to be cut off, bro. It's that simple. Every time you hear me talking, go through my videos. I challenge you to go through my videos. You can see progressive conversations all the time. If I see you on the same stuff, and if you even keep talking about the same person over and over again, and your conversation ain't even progressive, even that's a problem. You keep talking about this person in the same context. Here it is 2-3 years later. We don't see him doing nothing. You still talking about him as in the same context of 2 or 3 years ago. It gets redundant. It gets played out. It gets mundane, mediocre, minute of a situation. It's a minute situation. It's mundane. It's mediocre. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on fire talking about things about taking the USD into different countries. You see what I'm saying? My mind is thinking about stuff besides them people. That's why you know I ain't as lame. A lame gonna be consumed with it. Could you imagine somebody else that's on their level? All they gonna be talking about is that stuff. That's all they gonna be consumed with it. Like, all they talk about is what these people doing. That's what them the kind of people they like. They like the kind of people that just sit there and talk about this stuff all the time and what they doing and this and that and the third. I don't care what they doing. I don't care. I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's what a real one gonna do. I'm gonna rise up and do what I do. I'm gonna find out new stuff. I'm ever learning. I'm even learning through the war. You know what I'm saying? I don't stop learning. I'm educating people above what they used to hearing while I'm going through what I'm going through. I'm still teaching people above what they used to hearing with other people that's more relaxed and comfortable. I'm still producing more education than they are, than the people that's more relaxed than me. What that tells you. They're more relaxed and they ain't telling you about taking the USD all around the world. You can take $1 and that's $3,000 in South America. You ain't got nobody talking about it. That's how you know I'm a boss man. I can talk money and I can talk war at the same time simultaneously. Simultaneously, I can talk about war and simultaneously I can talk about money. A boss man, a king got to be able to do both. You got to be able to talk about money and war at the same time. You can't get spooked with war so bad you can't think straight. That's how you know I'm a boss. I still can think straight. I don't care what I'm going through. I can go through war and I still can think straight. I still can think about money. See, that's the king right there. If you get consumed with war to the point where you can't talk about nothing else, you're not the full king that's multitasked. That can go to war, talk about money, the economy of the community, whatever. You got a real king got to be able to do that. And dress up and then go do other stuff. So, like I said, you can take the USD. It's $1, $3,000 in like Colombia, I think. I've been sending money to Colombia, Peru, Iquitos. I've been sending money there. I got plans to send money to Bolivia. I sent money to Puerto Williams. That's way down in Chile, down at the bottom of South America. Puerto Williams. Only Latinos in South America know about Puerto Williams. You might not know about Puerto Williams. As in like Puerto Rico, Puerto Williams. With Puerto means just port, like a port. So Port Rico and Port Williams. So you got Puerto Rico, Puerto Williams. So Puerto Williams is down at the bottom of South America by Antarctica. I done sent money down there by Antarctica. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing it, bro. You see what I'm saying? See, I got something going and nobody didn't realize it. But see, that's what a real one gonna do. I'm gonna get something going. You know what I mean? You put me anywhere with a little bit of money and a little bit of food, a little bit of something, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I'm gonna come up with something. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know who's a real man and who's a man child. A man child ain't gonna produce nothing. I'm gonna always produce something. It might not be what you think I should be producing necessarily, but I'm gonna produce something. Yeah, so that's why I don't take a liking to somebody calling me a kid too lightly, because I got an 18-year-old son. My son is 18 years old. I'm a papa, you know what I'm saying? So imagine me being played with like I'm a kid, and my son is 18. My son is a grown man. Now imagine me being played with like, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I got the biggest, I talk these biggest money conversations. Taking money outside the country, building up whole infrastructures of other countries. We could have been done that. It's no excuse. But then the man that's going through war, he's the one that's telling you about it. The man that's what I'm saying. I get points for that. Not being consumed with this war, but my mind is on different things. That's the power of God. That's the boss man. That's how the boss man maneuvers. You know what I'm saying? I live it. You know what I'm saying? I live my position. And then they can't do the same thing, bro. That's what I'm saying. I want you to look at the difference between me and them. I want you to see. Because you're going to see who's most valuable. You know what I'm saying? They listen, bro. People that do witchcraft, man, now you see why we don't like them. It ain't just what they do, it's how they use it against people. It's who they play with and how they mess up our community, man. It's all of that. You looking at the culture aspect of witchcraft and how you like the cultural aspect. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about how these people play around with people. I suspect this is what witches and warlocks did all around the world, and that's why people killed them. Because they played with witchcraft with the community. Think about it. Eventually, you're going to want to play around with somebody. That's human nature. You're going to want to try to see if this stuff works. That's human nature. You know what I'm saying? You're going to play around with the community and play around with people, especially when you get mad or angry or whatever. And then you see it work and you just kind of go a little further without anybody doing anything to you. And this is why they put them to death, man. Now you can see, right? You can see why, right? Yeah. This is why they put him to death, man. Because at first, you know, you might not really, you just think it's on the principle of it, right? Just because of the principle of using witchcraft. But then you realize in this situation, look at what they be doing. You see what I'm saying? Look at that mindset, bro. That like I see why they got killed throughout history. I do. I really do. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no confusion about why people put them people to death. I don't have no confusion about it. You know what I'm saying? But see, they're stupid where they'll think about the cultural aspect of witchcraft. We ain't talking about what you culturally and who you know, how you have pride in being this witchcraft person. Nah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. It got something to do with how you use your witchcraft. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. As the old school say, I'm not saying do it at all, but it does apply too. That cliche does apply. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? And when you start pointing that energy towards other people, that's when people got a problem with it. See, you didn't think everybody could pick up on it. But then you find a boss like me. I'm spiritual, I'm natural, you know what I'm saying? I'm practical, I'm a realist, and I know about spirituality too. So you can't play that card with me where I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I do know. And this is why people want you dead, you know what I'm saying? Because you use your witchcraft against people too directly where it don't make no sense. Because that's the new generation of Americans, not even witchcraft, where you think you're going to attack people and come for people and all of that and think you're going to be a thug and a gangbanger with witchcraft. And that's why you got everybody in this situation, trying to be a thug and trying to be a gangster about it, and you ain't had the goods, you done folded already. If you wanted to kill yourself, you done folded, bro. Yeah, we don't listen. Most people have been done pulled you out the fight. Your real master should have done pulled you out the fight. If you suicidal, man, listen. You done, bro. You done folded. You ready to kill yourself. You ready to crash out. You know what I'm saying? You ready to crash out, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that tell you wasn't built for it. And I'm still here talking money. I'm talking conversation that nobody ain't heard. I'm talking plenty of sense. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you do the math. Who's built for it? Who's built for it? This is how we find out who's built for it. It's not just the violence. It's the endurance. It's the endurance. How we find out who's built for street wars, street politics in the streets is who endures. When the smoke clears, I'm still here, talking the same language I've been talking. That's who built for it. We can go through the changes of life and everything, we still here. It's not just violence. That ain't make you just, let's clarify this. That don't make you just built for the streets. You gotta endure the streets, which means you gotta endure the poverty, all of that. Oh yeah, some people fold on the poverty. That part. Hey, as far as the streets, some people fold on the poverty, bruh. Crashed out because they were broke. Crashed out because they ain't had no money. Killed themselves because they ain't had no money. But they street dudes. How many street people you done seen that happen to? Got all the street stuff down packed, still killed themselves because they couldn't endure the poverty. They couldn't endure barely eating good. You know what I'm saying? Eating good at the beginning of the month, but then you fall off at the end of the month. That's what we all do. That's part of the struggle. You ain't gonna eat good from the time you get your stamps to all the way to the next time you get your stamp. You're gonna eat your good stuff at the beginning. At the beginning, you're gonna have all your goodies and all of that. But by the time you get to the end of the month, what? You got your rice, beans, little sandwiches, and maybe some bread in the, you know. You got your little frozen meat in there, got some fish, maybe some stuff in there, some beef patties or whatever you eat. You got some little stuff in the freezer. You got mashed potatoes, oatmeal, you know, stuff, the economical stuff, rice. You got that. You ain't gonna starve because you too smart to starve. I'm too smart to starve. You know, I ain't gonna starve ever. I ain't gonna ever starve. You know, shoot, I'll go down the street and ask a restaurant for food before I starve. I remember I was in this one apartment. This dude, he asking me for something to eat. This is a grown man. This man is like in his 60s or something. He gonna ask. He asking me for bread. You can't find bread. You can't get food. That means you doing too many drugs, bro. That's what it means. And then even then, I still can go down to the corner store or the bodega. I'ma ask them for something to eat. That's real. That ain't begging, that's asking. Begging is when you ask more than one time. Yeah, that's real. Begging is when I keep asking you. Now, you might not do that, but sometimes you might have to beg a little bit. So people can see how serious it is. Some people might think you're playing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing to eat. You keep asking, bro. Ask the next shift. The next dude come in there. You got about 2 shifts on the bodega. That's real. When I was on the streets, I go to the Chinese spots and ask for rice. Ask for rice. A Chinese person ain't gonna turn you down for no rice. They make all them big old things of rice. No, I'm being 100. They give you a box of rice and some soy sauce. They ain't gonna turn you down. If you hungry on the streets, it's cause you ain't a lion. You closed mouths don't get fed. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be hungry in America. All these restaurants around here. I'm gonna ask any one of them people. You got something? Can you give me something to eat? I ain't gonna never be hungry. If I don't got no food in here, I go to a restaurant. I walk down the street. I walk up and down the street till I find me a restaurant. And I'm gonna ask them, yo, I'm gonna go me a bodega. Yo, you think you can help me out with a sandwich or something to eat, some bread, something? Man, you tell me I'm gonna go to every store, they gonna turn me down in New York. I'm gonna walk till I get me something to eat. That's me. I'm a soldier. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be hungry in America. You crazy. I get on the subway. I go on the train. If I can't find nothing to eat on my side of town, I'm going on the train. Until I find something to eat. Like a lion. A lion gonna go miles and miles till they get something to eat. You don't turn into a beast. Sitting around here begging for food. Couldn't be me. Shoot, I ain't never done it. I go to McDonald's, I ask the manager, can you give me something to eat? The manager give me a whole combo what I want. I go on the streets as a man. I walk on the streets as a man. I go from place to place. Yo, can you give me something to eat? I done got food from Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, all them places. Domino's, Papa John's, all them places. Give me a whole pizza. Cause all you gotta do when you go to them pizza spots, you ask them for pizza that they gonna throw away. They gonna throw away pizza for orders that people didn't come and get every night. They done got burnt out on that pizza. They don't even want it no more. They just glad to see somebody else eat it. You know what I'm saying? I go in there and ask them, yo, I done it. I done done it before. I done went to a store and got 2 large pizzas and no money. Ate till my heart was content. If you don't got no food, it's cause you don't know how, you ain't no hustler. You ain't no survivor. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and you get food. Domino's right up the street. I go up in there, yo, y'all got boxes of food y'all gonna throw away? That's why the dude be sitting out there. Around the corner, there's always somebody sitting around that Domino's. You know why? Cause they give them the food at the end of the night. That's what it is. Man, yeah. Why you think they gonna post up right there? And then dudes coming through there with money. People were getting Domino's, got a little bread on them. That too. Guarantee he getting some of that money. I mean, some of that pizza. Ain't no way in the world. If you listen, if you ain't got no food and you in America, something ain't right. Something ain't right, bruh. Something ain't right. All these restaurants around here, I took full advantage of that when I was on the streets. I ain't never go hungry. I ain't never go hungry, bro. I went to Chinese spots, Vietnamese spot, Japanese. I go to any of them places. The Chinese spot's the best. The rice, they ain't gonna deny you of no rice. They gonna throw it away. All that rice, they gotta boil big old things of rice. You think for them to dip a little thing of rice out there is gonna hurt them? That's nothing. That ain't doing nothing. That takes no money. They glad to do it. Cause they ain't gonna put that rice, they ain't gonna save that rice. They gonna throw it away. They might take it home and feed it to animals, or they might donate it to people that feed it to animals. Chinese people that feed their pigs or something like that. They ain't gonna take it home and they eat fresh rice at home. Chinese man ain't gonna take that rice home. He gonna eat fresh rice. He don't want that. I go in there, when I was in California, I go in there, yo, can y'all help me with some rice? He give me rice, the soy sauce. That's how I got into it. They give me the packs of soy sauce and everything when I go there. And that's what I eat for the night. That's a soldier, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna ever go hungry. You know what I'm saying? You go to these places, you ask them people for food. They ain't gonna tell you no. No, you don't ask the cash register person. You ask the manager. That's respect. You don't try to bamboozle the person at the register. You know what I'm saying? That's what's disrespectful. That's disrespectful in that atmosphere. You know, you ask the manager. He the one control and pull the shots. He or she pulls the shots. They can give you food and ain't nobody gonna say nothing. You know what I mean? Because they know where that food go at the end of the day. Most of it get thrown away. You know what I'm saying? It gets consumed by them. They take it home themselves. That's what managers do too. And all these corporations. You think McDonald's Corporation don't know that? And these other chains don't know? Of course, because you cook enough food for people coming in. And unfortunately, sometimes they ain't gonna buy all that food every night. No, but you can't wait till they come there and say, oh, okay, I got you, I'm gonna cook it up now. You gotta have that food ready, which means you cooking food that people might not buy a lot of nights. And so, you know they gonna take that food home. That's a perk of the job. And if you come in there and ask for food they've been eating, you think they gonna deny you of that? No, they glad to help somebody that know how to act, that know how to ask the right way for the food, that know how to ask the right way. If you know how to ask them the right way, they'd be glad to give you that food if you ask them right. You gotta come in there with your head right, your mind right, your game right. Just a real man, a real woman coming in there, yo, you think you can help me out with something to eat? I guarantee you they're gonna help you, man. It's all about surviving, man. You gotta be a survival out here. Survivor out here. That's how you know I ain't no lame. You ain't never seen me starving on the streets. Imagine that. You ain't gonna see me ever starving on the streets. I go or anywhere. If I got me an apartment, whatever, I ain't got no food, you ain't gonna never see me starving. I go out here and go get me something to eat. You starving in your house? Listen, buddy, you ain't listen. You ain't a soldier. Then you say you're a street dude. See, it takes skills to be real. It's more than one area. You know what I'm saying? It's more than one area being real. You go out here and get food for your household. You ain't gonna never be hungry in America if you black. You know how to get out here and get food for your family. You know what I'm saying? You go to these restaurants. If I was a parent with 2-3 kids, man, I'd be going to them pizza shops all across town. They throw away that pizza all the time. Your kids gonna be glad eating that pizza. People should be ashamed they overlook that stuff. But they can't put everybody on it because you know how niggas are. They gonna go play the game, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be there every night. You know, they don't know how to move around, man. Make it do it classy. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? If we tell everybody and their mama gonna come there trying to get that pizza. And they gonna mess up the game, and then they ain't gonna give pizza out to nobody. That's how it always go. Somebody mess up the game, now they ain't offering pizza to nobody. Even though they got it, they ain't gonna do it. Cause it might have been a bum that threw it down on the ground. Ate some of it, then drunk, threw it down on the ground for whatever reason. People come out there and see the food on the ground. Oh, I ain't giving nobody no pizza. That's done. I gotta clean it up. I'm mad that I just gotta clean it up too. All throw it out on the ground, everything. Nah, we ain't giving out pizza to nobody no more. See, it's always like that. Somebody mess up the game, man. That's why, you can't sympathize with everybody on the streets because some people, man, they mess up the game for everybody. In life in general, too. In every area, it's always people that mess up the game. You know what I'm saying? Them ain't your people, bro. Them bums. And I don't mean that because we all in poverty. Bum is a condition of the soul. You know what I'm saying? They not good stewards over nothing. They can't have nothing. That's not the streets. That's not the ghetto. We maintain what we have. We're grateful for what we get. We survivors. We soul survivors. You know what I'm saying? We not bums. I can be homeless, but I'm not a bum. I can go out here, how you know? Because I'm going to eat good. A bum, they ain't going to know how to even eat, bro. Sometimes they have mental sickness and stuff. They can't even go to these places that I talked to you about and go get food and everything. I go straight to the manager at McDonald's, get the whole combo for free. And I talk to the manager, yo, you think you can help me out with something to eat, huh? Can you help me out with something to eat? Yeah, what you want? All right, I get the number 5. She paid for the whole thing, boom. Big Mac, fries, everything, drink, everything, free. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying I'm a survivor. I'm in a situation. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how it works. Life's working cycle. Then I come back to them same restaurants and pay money and pay bread. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how America should have looked out for America. Because, you know, if I help you now, you're going to help us later. I know that. Place like McDonald's, you're going to spend money with us later anyway. When you do get money. So I know that. And, you know what I'm saying? You know, as a hustler, that's how you should think as a manager. I know I'm going to give you this right here. You're going to be back. You probably be back to the same store later on. In some cases. So, you know, if you ain't eating on the streets, man, you just got to grow a little bit. You ain't no alpha male. Alpha male going to eat on the streets. If I'm homeless, you can be an alpha male on the streets. How you gonna know? Watch how he move. He gonna get everything you need. That's how alpha male gonna move. First thing first, more than anything. Most importantly on the streets, he gonna get some food. Ain't no alpha male gonna be up talking about I can't eat all these restaurants around here. And these people gonna throw away the food. That's what I'm talking about. Man, ain't no way in the world I ain't gonna eat on the streets. You tripping. You tripping. You just don't know. You just ain't, your eyes ain't open as a soldier, as a survivor. You know what I'm saying? But you say it is, but it's not. Ain't no way in the world I go up and down these streets asking people for something to eat. Especially if I already done spent money with them. Especially. Man, I used to get money from, I used to go to the bodega and the dude used to let me borrow money. That's how good I pay it back. I'm good, I pay back money. I got a reputation on the streets of New York for paying back money. That's the best reputation to have, to pay back money. I used to go to the bodega, the dude asked me, yo, you need something? He kept telling me, asking me that until I did need something one day. And then he just let me get my tab up, run my tab up to like $100 and some. I pay it all back. Boom, 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 knock it down. That's street credibility. That's the best street credibility to have, is paying back money. Paying back money, because I can get money for different things when I need it. If I need money for, you know, a weapon, listen, a dude that I've been getting money with, I pay that money back too. The best credibility is money on the streets. If I need a weapon, I can go ask this dude, yo, you think I can borrow X amount of money to get this or that or whatever? Or I might tell him what it is. Oh, okay, you good for it. I know you'll pay me back. Boom. Just because you pay money back. I got a reputation for that, paying all my tabs, all my money back. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but see, that's just being a street. That's your business on the streets. You make your own business. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what kind of quality man you are. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with no program or nobody that know me and like me, around me and all of that. I made my own business. You know what I'm saying? I pay my own tabs back. I pay money back. I can go borrow money right now. If the dude is there, I know somebody I can go borrow money for him right now if I want it. Because I got credibility for paying money back. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just like, that's what you get in life, man. Somewhere in form or fashion, you're going to need money when you ain't got it. You know, it's just all about, can you pay it back? Are you honorable enough when you get money again? Because you usually will you pay it back? That's all it's about. If you got good honor, you know what I'm saying, you're going to pay the money back. That's how it works. That's another thing you build in life, you know what I'm saying, is money credibility. You know what I'm saying? You get money credibility. Credit score. You can put it like that. Street credit score. You pay money back? Oh, he good. That dude pay money back. That's the best credibility you can have. Because if you getting beef out here, if you get some beef, I can go to the same dudes and say, yo, I need this money to do this, for a pistol or something like that. Or they may have one. And then because I'm a good guy, they'll give me a pistol to take care of my business. That's how far money credibility goes. You know what I'm saying? Paying your money back. That's the best credibility you can have on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's all about survival. Like I said, that USD, you can take it around the world. That's what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Putting it in churches and everything, and in spiritual warfare. We're successful. Glory to God. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to keep doing. Putting this money in these different churches, winning these wars. Glory to God. Glory to his name. Amen. In Jesus' name, amen.